and screwed the pooch.
He was
in
a
Florida.
failure.
Total failure.
And everybody he hired, failure.
He should change his name
How
to
about the guy
Palestine, not Israel.
Now you're the radio professional. I'm new to the gig, but you
Yeah.
should probably preface it with, there are a lot of people who don't know who you're talking about.
I said the guy in Parkland.
Okay. Because that's important. We have to, I want to stay uniform.
This is radio. Radio was
you
invented.
guys are experts. I heard for the last 30 minutes.
Radio was invented by Marconi during the Jack Benny and Bob Hope era. It was ascendant. It died because of television. Rush Limbaugh resurrected it in the mid-'90s.
The overtone.
Now that's all you need to know about radio.
The overtone to why you're referring to Parkland is all of the mayhem and the way it's presented itself now to where kids are walking out of schools.
Right.
I mean, I think this is a big deal. I have a daughter. Last Friday was another walkout.
Oh, right.
Did you know that?
Yes, I was aware of
So last
this.
Friday is another walkout. So now...
Do you have a high school student?
I have two.
Okay.
Two high school
students. And did they walk out?
No. My kids walk out. They're nuts.
Well, wait. In your area of the country, they don't walk out,
You
right?
don't walk out. I paid
First of all,
tuition.
they're armed. They're armed and dangerous.
I think they should be. If I had it my way, they would.
So how did this hit home for? Well, you're worried because your kids are in school. You think they could be a target in school, right? No.
First of all, they're my daughters, so I'm worried about the guy that tries to hurt them. Secondly, all I'm worried about is the fact that teachers now, for the most part, are working vehemently against the way I raise my kids.
Sure.
So in other words, they're trying to turn my kids into socialists. Well, the entire time, what I'm doing is detoxing them from what they're learning in school.
Did you hear what happened at Penn State? I think it was Penn State University. Forget Joe Paterno. What happened at Penn State University? It was like Earth Day over the weekend, yesterday.
Sure.
But they have this club where they go outside and go to camp. They camp outside, but they ended that. They ended this camp because it was out of cell phone range. So now you can't even go outside. That's
really,
how snowflakey people are.
Well, they
nowadays.
use that term snowflake all the time. What it really means is just incapable of survival.
Right.
I mean, and that's what you've done to society. You've made these kids completely unable to fend for themselves at almost every level, and then you demonize the kids that can. So, and as we sit here and watch Cuomo, the son of a communist, run CNN
on our monitor. We have CNN.
Our monitor,
we also
CNN
have Fox.
and Fox,
Yeah.
which is nice for the heterosexual crowd.
Right.
As you watch Cuomo, the grandson of a communist, son of a communist, that they're building the entire station around, and you listen to Kids and Earth Day, which we have Richard Nixon, one of the worst Republicans ever, to thank for Earth Day, right, with the advent.
You were
come on.
You were a
I
toddler.
remember
You were in
Nixon
diapers.
In front of
I remember
Disney.
the first
I'm
Earth
not
Day.
a crook.
We are going to talk about the first Earth Day when we come back.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Earth and the atmospherics, are you prepared to give us weather?
Yeah,
Are you
but
prepared to do
I
that?
wanted to make fun of your Earth shoes, those suede brown shoes you insist
which
on
I've had
wearing
for 35
40
years, which
ago.
I got from Tom McGann.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
Here's
so-
the weather. It sucks.
Well, hold on a second. We got to have
October.
the we got to have the theme music, don't we? Or how do we do that?
Hear about the big
There.
stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
All right, now we're going to go to the weather. Today, sunny, partly cloudy with a high of 60. Now, 60's not bad if it's October 28th, but it's springtime. 60's terrible. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 45. Good thing I still have my leather jacket in the car, Bruce. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun, high of 58. So here's the deal. It's going to get progressively worse until Friday, which just stinks. 53's the high, 37's the low.
Can I ask you a question
now,
right
are we
now?
going to kick it? No, I got to kick it to the Italian.
I know
don't know if
you want to do
Telemonte
this.
or the other guy.
All right, but here's the thing, and that's the great guessing game that we're going to have.
Yeah,
the
let's
lady
have
or the lady or the Telemonte. The problem I have is, can we, since our time is so valuable here, not have the Tom Skilling disquisitions
That's
that
fine.
you're giving
But
right
the
now?
problem you have are those narrow shoulders and those chicken wings you call a body. That's the problem. Now let's go to Telemonte.
Good morning, gentlemen. Bruce, Sean, buongiorno. Inbound Kennedy at Irving Park, watch out for a pothole in the right lane. It's been reported there. Crews are supposed to fix that at some point today. Reversible is just open on the inbound side. We've no delays right now on the Kennedy. Eden's wide open. Eisenhower still good. Same goes for the Stevens. Inbound Ryan heavy from Cermak into the Burn Circle. Overnight construction just cleared out of the left lane. 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. Inbound Bishop Ford, a 2-minute delay. Cottage Grove to the Ryan. Tollways are fine at the moment. No problems to report in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year, which means you've got more money to spend on what's important to you. Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more money you'll be bringing home, go to taxcutswork.com. There's an easy-to-use calculator that tells you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year and next. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com and then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. The Tax Cuts Work Tour is coming to the Fauna International at 1900 Averill Road in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Meet small business owners, elected officials, and the folks from Job Creators Network to hear how the tax cuts are working and share your story, too. That's Fauna International in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Learn more at taxcutswork.com.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
In real life, beauty is about feeling good, knowing that you look good. At CVS Pharmacy, feel good knowing that when you spend $30 on select beauty brands, you'll get a $10 CVS cash card to spend in store. We've got the latest obsessions in cosmetics, skincare, and hair care waiting just for you. That's beauty in real life, only at CVS Pharmacy. Offer valid through April 28th. Restrictions apply. See circular or cvs.com/weekly ad for more details in store or online.
For years, you've heard of St. John's Northwestern Military Academy, serving young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. Now that same experience is available for your daughter. With summer vacation right around the corner, now is a great time to register your son or daughter for summer camp at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful region of southeast Wisconsin. It's a time to refocus from the distractions of life and explore the potentials in many areas of life. There's Camp St. John's Northwestern with 4 one-week sessions of outdoor activities for 10 to 16-year-olds and summer school for 5 weeks to recover credits or get ahead for full credit. Limited registration for co-ed summer camp is happening now, as well as the year-round school application process. Hurry, space is limited. For more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Boom, 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 boom. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. So I did want to mention that Earth Day was yesterday.
Oh, Earth Day. Get out of here.
So I remember the first Earth Day.
Communists.
The first Earth Day was April 22nd, 1970. The entire day at school, I was a junior in high school, the entire day in school was devoted to studying all this stuff. And I was glad because we didn't have regular classes. I actually asked a girl, I think it was the first time I asked a girl on a date.
Yeah, let's all guess how that went.
And actually it wasn't bad. But here's the thing about Earth Day. So when I finally went to school, college, Northwestern University.
Oh, boy, here we go. You're the smartest. You're the handsomest. Yeah, we know, bro.
The first book I had to read was The Population Bomb by Paul Ehrlich, in which he said, remember, this is like
Fear and
1971.
Propaganda?
Well, he said that by the 21st century, by the year 2000, that we would all be dead from overpopulation. He was a neo-Malthusian.
And an idiot.
And a total idiot. And so it was that scare tactic. So I should have been recalled to Northwestern University to repeat my freshman year when it didn't happen. It was, in the year 2000. So that was Earth Day, the whole population bomb.
Well, the good news is your shoes lasted. And the other thing is...
please note, I don't know if we can see them on the live stream, the live video stream, but...
How about a GoFundMe page for Bruce and his new shoes?
They are from Tom McAn, from 40 years ago. I don't change my shoes. Did you see this, Sean? The frequency of violent tornadoes, speaking of Earth Day, fell to a record low in 2017. But now, so if you're Tom Skilling and you believe in this global warming jazz and believe that catastrophic events
I'm Tom Skilling. We're going to eat salads. Have you seen him lately?
Oh, my goodness.
My word.
He's standing over Illinois on the map, on the green screen, but his belly is covering, a typhoon in the Pacific. So anyway, the violent tornadoes fell to a record low in 2017. He's one of those, I believe, who believes that catastrophic occurrences are caused by global warming. If I were the new Channel 9 news anchor, and by the way, they have a new guy.
I like John Coleman always did.
John Coleman was the guy, the late John Coleman, he should rest in peace, was anti-global warming.
Well, he's not anti. He's actual facts. See, here's the thing about these eco-Nazis. Right. They're not going to let the facts distract them at any level.
No, it's a religion.
Because they've found a way to tax you. First of all, the whole thing, forget about Archimedes' principle and the fact they're dead wrong and always have been. Even if the ice melts, it doesn't matter.
What's Archimedes' principle? I only went to Northwestern.
Oh, come on, you know what it is.
No, what is Archimedes' law?
Archimedes' principle that the weight of volume is already
I gotta write this
distributed in the liquid. So that's why it's
weight
like a bar
of volume.
It's the bar trick of how you win. You put ice in a glass, you fill the glass to the level, and you bet the moron. When the ice melts, is the water going to overflow?
This doesn't have anything to do with catching quarters between your cheeks or anything like that.
You know, to show you, just do me a favor. There are periods in my sentences. Wait till I get to the period. All right?
I didn't learn grammar either.
Jeez,
okay, I don't know how I got into that school. So anyway, if I were the news, there's a new news anchor at Channel 9 who's starting today. And he's got one of those clutch cargo chins and all that. But if I were the new news anchor at Channel 9, I would ask Tom Skilling, well, what do you think of this, Tommy? Yeah. I mean, the catastrophic occurrences are at an all-time low. Tornadoes were at an all-time low. What do you think of that? And how about you drop 50 pounds? That's what I would do.
If you were a new news anchor, it would be 1975. I mean, first of all, you're like 80 years old. So you're not going to be new at anything.
But my hair is pretty nice, isn't it?
That's what you got going for you.
I do.
You do. And a saint for a wife.
Apparently so.
5 kids. I mean, really, it's amazing.
6 grandchildren.
Have you ever totaled up how much money you've wasted on these ungrateful kids?
It's unfathomable.
I mean, they did get together and get you a leather briefcase of which you have no use for.
They got it for me for my 60th birthday.
Yeah.
How did you know they got it for me? You could tell.
Things.
Oh, you remember that they got me this?
See, unlike you, I listen to when people talk. I know when the periods are, and I listen to the content of what they're saying.
And you care about other people.
Not really.
Well, you fake it very well.
Well, you know what I was saying is I miss the awkwardness we used to have.
Right, we're too familiar or too comfortable with each other. Well, first of all, and let the record show that Sean is smoking a cigar in the studio.
I was
in violation.
In the
I am in my Amy Jacobson Memorial bikini top, the Craig Stebick line.
Yeah.
And God bless Amy. And I tease her about Craig Stebick all the time, and you know what she says when I do that?
It's very uncomfortable as a listener.
When I
she wants to kill you.
No. What she does is all she cares about is the family. She doesn't care that it wrecked her career. She doesn't care about that. She cares about the family.
Will you give the girl a break, for God's sake?
She's so wonderful. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's very,
also
very nice.
got a picture of you in her office with arrows in it. Keep talking.
Okay.
Any more ideas?
Hey, I love the passive part of passive aggressiveness. It's terrific.
Well, that's the part you're good at.
So what do you want to talk about this morning?
Listen to me. This is there's so many crucial topics.
Sure.
And, I want to talk about it, and you guys are handing me stuff like it's the Inquirer.
Right.
We are on the precipice in Illinois of Pritzker, the useless, never had a job failure.
Makes Tom Skilling look svelte.
Running the government in Illinois. This is a big deal.
I say we bottom out, Sean.
Well, here's the big
I say we bottom out.
Here's the sick part.
Thank God Dan Proft had Jeannie Ives as a stalking horse for Bruce Rauner, and the whole Republican Party is imploding.
The sick part is the Republicans only have this 7 foot of stupid fraud. Bruce Rauner.
He is a tall drink of water.
It's just despicable. So the sad part is that guys who are earners, guys who take pride in their business,
not me,
have nowhere to turn. Do you realize that?
Go to Florida permanently.
Well,
you could do this show from Florida.
I am going to do that. But
Don and Roma used to do their show from Florida.
Here's the thing.
And pretend that they were here.
You're going to let me get to the
Go
point?
ahead.
I'm going to knock him out. Mike Scott.
No, please.
I'm knocking him out.
Cold cock me right now.
Here's the thing. You're going to get to a point where you're already at that point where people like me, you're tearing me away from my family. This is a big deal in Illinois. So I want to talk about this kind of stuff.
We will. I promise you. Oh, it's your dime, it's your dance card, as
After
Chet
we
Kopic
relive
would say.
your career.
No, now that's it. We are going on this J.B. Pritzker hunk right after the news. I promise you.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with zero or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Here's the cold, hard truth about hard water in our homes. Nearly 90% of America is affected by it. Hard water contains harsh minerals that can dry out skin and hair. Hard water can raise our electricity bill by up to 48%. It even creates buildup in pipes that can lead to pathogenic bacteria growth. Stressed out yet? Don't be. Salt-based water softeners can solve all your hard water issues. Get the full scoop at alittlesalt.org.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big, bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico with the listeners. And if you're a listener who is not in Mexico, as Sean is trying to say, give us a call at 312. What's that telephone number?
642-5600. If this kid in the yoga pants doesn't turn my mic on, I'm throwing this whole place up for grabs. Between the interrupter, the only guy in here worth anything is Mike Scott.
And let's go to Mike Scott in the newsroom right now. Good morning, Mike.
Bruce and Sean, a pleasant good morning. And to our listeners, welcome. 45 degrees outside, clouds. Suspect in the deadly pre-dawn attack at a Tennessee Waffle House. He's been in trouble with the law before. Metropolitan Nashville police say 29-year-old Travis Reinking was arrested by the U.S. Secret Service for being in a restricted area near the White House in July of 2017. State police in Illinois revoked Reinking's state firearms card at the request of the FBI after that White House incident, and 4 guns were taken from him. Deputies then allowed Reinking's father to take possession of those guns.
He was allowed to do that after he assured deputies that he would keep them secure and away from Travis.
Tazewell County Sheriff Robert Houston suggests Reinking may have serious mental health issues. All options are open to Tehran if the U.S. pulls out of the Iran nuclear deal. That according to Iran Foreign Minister Mohammad Jaffe on CBS's Face the Nation. Meantime, French President Emmanuel Macron believes the U.S. has a crucial role to play in Syria.
It's not automatically U.S. forces, but that's U.S. diplomacy, and that's your president. We will have to build the new Syria afterwards, and that's why I think the U.S. role is very important.
Macron on Fox News Sunday. Senator Susan Collins isn't pleased with the release of former FBI Director James Comey's new book.
I cannot imagine why an FBI director would seek to essentially cash in on a book when the investigation is very much alive. He should have waited to do his memoir.
Collins on NBC's Meet the Press. New internet rules are supposed to take effect today. They might be delayed. Earlier this year, the FCC voted to repeal Obama-era net neutrality rules. Southwest Airlines canceling over 40 flights for engine inspections. The nationwide cancellations will allow the company to inspect engine fan blades. The death toll continues to rise after a suicide bombing in Afghanistan's capital. An attack on a voter registration site has claimed 57 lives. 4 are dead, 21 hurt here in Chicago after shootings over the weekend. A motorist who was inside of a car that drove off Navy Pier and plunged into Lake Michigan has died. And the city of Chicago this morning will attempt to collect millions of dollars from two cash-strapped suburbs indebted to the city for the water it provides. The Tribune is reporting lawsuits were filed quietly last month against Dalton and Robbins. The suits allege the towns violated contracts with the city, repayment agreements, and the law by making unauthorized transfers of millions of dollars from the water fund accounts into their general funds. Cubs jump out to a quick 6-0 lead, and they hang on to edge the Rockies 9-7 in Denver. Houston clobbered the White Sox 7-1. Bears making final preparations ahead of the NFL draft in Dallas. The news, a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Attention diabetics. Now you can get your testing supplies delivered to your home. Free delivery and a free meter upgrade. Call the U.S. Medical Supply now. 800-430-7923.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, one of the things I like about you, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter. Is it really true that you and your team will drive anywhere in Chicagoland so that your clients don't have to sit in the notorious Chicagoland traffic?
Oh, you better believe it. A mortgage is just too big of an investment, too big of a product to be done on an app or maybe through email only. And I feel that it's very important to at least get together with our clients for the application process. Meaning, if you're looking to refinance or buy a home, give us a call, 773-770-4727. That's 770-4727. Or you can always apply online at thehomeloanexpert.com. We'll gather some information. I will work you up your options, call you back. We'll review your options, compare where you are, and compare the new loan. If you say, hey, this is a great fit in what it's looking for, I'll come out and I'll meet you at your home or office. No one does that. Customer service, no one can match. Thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
5:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mark. Mike, we're seeing some traffic heading to O'Hare now, the outbound Kennedy. Slow Foster to Sayre. There's a little congestion building on westbound 190. Expect that to get heavier here in the next little bit. Right now, it's about 24 minutes downtown to the airport. Inbound 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Edens is fine. Eisenhower is still looking good. Mount Stevenson, a little tight around Cicero, but otherwise still pretty light. Mount Ryan, stop and go from before the Stevenson to the Burns Circle. There was a crash right at the Stevenson. That cleared out of the way. It's 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is good. Bishopport inbound, 5-minute delay from Stony Island feeder to the merge. Tollways look fine. Traffic is a service of Lowe's Pro customers. At Lowe's, save 5% every day. You use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sunny to partly cloudy and 60. Partly cloudy, 45 overnight. Currently, 44. Next news coming up at 6 with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity. Right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. We're in Mexico.
Dangerous in Mexico. Did you read that article?
Last time I was in Mexico, I was in Disney Mexico.
That was a raving success. How many people knew there was a Disney Mexico?
Well, no, but that's what I call it pejoratively, because you could drink the water there, and the bullfight.
Careful.
You're at a bullfight, and they're serving Domino's pizza. I mean, it just takes. It's so Americanized.
It's like a college campus.
College campuses are all-inclusive resorts. So are many of these Mexican places. And I'm not dissing it. I think it's great. It's fun.
Crime is through the roof if you're not
Mexico?
in these actual resort areas. So,
Of course.
we may back into a full-time slot. If Prof wanders off the resort in his white little
He
ensemble.
won't.
Yeah, there's going to be.
Ooh, karoosh. There we go. So I know you wanted to do a little hunk on the hunky presumptive governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. So go at it. Go at J.B. Pritzker.
Well, listen, here's a diabolical thing about J.B. Pritzker. He's diabolical because he acts as a virtuous righter of wrongs. So his big solution to our problems is a progressive income tax. Right. And what people don't realize is a scoundrel like Pritzker has never had an income, which is why he doesn't mind taxing it. See, he's made his money through hitting the Loin lottery because his mom knew whose lap to sit on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how he got his money. He's never actually earned a dollar in his life. If an alarm clock went off in Pritzker's house, he'd have a heart attack. He's never worked, never earned money. He simply inherited it. So now he wants to go after anybody and all of us who are up at 5:40 in the morning trying to go to work.
I hate these, trust fund kids like Marshall Field, the 18th or whatever, who was the docent at the Field Museum. But yeah, they got the money. Get me Marshall Field the first.
Most of them are benign. The most dangerous are the ones who have that self-loathing guilt.
Well, they've got to do
Pritzker.
something, so they got to give the money. They got to give away everybody else's money, not their own, because he'll get the tax break on the toilet.
Which is why he tears apart the condo, or says he does. Has Barrios, which by the way he lost, didn't he? Barrios, the cartoon character. And now in my district, I live in Elmwood Park. So we had little Louis Gutierrez as our congressman. And I used to call the office and talk to his cousin, Vato. Hey, I'd start my complaints. They'd hang up on me, laugh at me. So now the replacement for that morphodite is the other one who's got
Chuy Garcia.
The Latin version of Ron Jeremy with that stupid mustache.
He should have been the mayor of Chicago, had Ramnad Deep Six the Laquan McDonald
video. What's sickening about this state is these imbeciles just walk in because they've got the political clout. They've been ass barnacles this whole time, and they just know who to rub up against, and then they're congressmen, and then they're governors.
If I may make the Hayekian argument about either the dog or the economist, the argument over the progressive income tax. As we know, if you read Wire Points, Illinois, great Twitter website,
I do my own
thinking,
like that. But go
ahead.
ahead.
But the progressive income tax, it doesn't work because what it does is the millionaires leave. Like Brad Thor left.
Love Brad.
Love Brad Thor. New novel coming out every 6 seconds. He's more prolific than Ian Fleming was. So they either leave, or what happens is a lot of people, and you probably know this, you're a businessman, they file these individual income tax returns, but they're businessmen, but they wind up getting taxed, and then that stifles job creation. So it's a net loss, the progressive income tax. But you can't tax your way out of this problem, which is what J.B. Pritzker is going to try to do.
I pose the opposite to you. I think the progressive tax works exactly as it was intended. There's a reason it's the number 2 plank of Marxism, because it controls wealth creation.
Sure.
It limits the amount of people that can become wealthy, because what a government doesn't want is a lot of wealthy people.
No, because then they don't need the government anymore.
Bingo. And they start to question it, and they start to see where the money's really spent. That's why government only has one answer, regardless of if they're Republicans or Democrats. That's to borrow more, spend more, and tax more.
Sean, when we come back from the weather, I want you to...
I have to do the weather again.
Yes.
Stick your head out of the window.
One thing I do, I'm like Mussolini. I make the trains and the weather run on time here.
You're nothing like Mussolini. But all right.
Why, I'm hanging upside down right now.
First of all,
with my gravity boots from the ceiling. Watch us live streaming here at AM 560 The Answer.
You really want him to watch you?
I want
Your
you to.
Your entire outfit's about $8. Let's start a GoFundMe page for Bruce. He's got pants on that are older than most listeners.
Your reflections on the life of Barbara Bush. I want to hear about it when we come back.
Like Babs.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Okay, so today, I don't even need it in front of me because the weather is so bad that today's the best it's going to be, and it's going to get all the way up to 60.
Cool.
Yeah, so all of you hackers have a good excuse of why you're snap hooking the ball, like Bruce Wolf, who's worse than Proft, if you can believe it, at golf. Tonight, down to 45. Tomorrow, the high's only 58 tomorrow. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know who loves this? The gas company. Because you've got to keep your heat on constantly. And then all the way on Friday, it's going to be 53. I mean, between the weather and Pritzker and Rauner, let's all call Liberty Real Estate Services to get out of here. Now it's time for Jim Pelamonte. Where is that "What Happened to Hillary" sticker on the Prius screwing up all the traffic?
Thanks, Sean. Maybe headed out of town. Traffic's getting a little bit heavier on the outbound Kennedy going to O'Hare. It's slow Lawrence to Sayre. 25 minutes downtown to the airport now. Inbound 21, slow out of coming off 190. The Eden's clear. Eisenhower inbound, little tight. Manheim to 25th, just a 2-minute delay. Inbound Stevenson delays are from Harlem to Pulaski. 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. On Orion, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 still good. Bishop Ford, there's a 5-minute delay from Stony Island feeder to the merge. Tollways are still fine. No problems to report right now in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
For years, you've heard of St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake County region of southwest Wisconsin, serving young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. Now that same experience is available for young women. Yeah, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy immerses young men in a culture of leadership that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, and our military traditions, shaping minds since 1884. Grades 7 through 12 boarding or day boarding, going full co-ed. Yeah, it's a place that you can trust for your son or now your daughter. And, if you're a mom, you want to know that if you chose a military boarding school, that it would encompass the values that you were looking for. Limited registration for co-ed summer camp at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy is happening now, as well as the year-round school application process, but space is limited. For all the info, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Game show idea. Comey, Corey, or Christian. I'm going to read a series of passages, and you tell me which was said or written by former FBI Director Jim Comey, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, or 50 Shades of Grey protagonist Christian Grey. Let's begin. I want you to know that nothing has happened in the last year to change my view. Boy, those were the words I needed to hear. I know. And the East Coast loves you, and by the East Coast, I mean me. Do you think gay sex is a perversion? We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. He was not going to get a hug without being a whole lot stronger than he looked. He wasn't. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are two shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. As he extended his hand, I made a mental note to check its size. It was smaller than mine, but did not seem unusually so. Look out, E.L. James. Jim Comey and Cory Booker are coming for you.
There's a lot going on with your mouth. It's how you communicate through speech and your smile. It's where you put food to fuel your body. It's how you show affection to your loved ones. The health of your mouth and teeth are so important, and dentistry for all ages in Elk Grove Village can help keep your mouth and teeth in excellent condition. When is the last time you had a dental checkup? It's suggested every 6 months. Dr. Leischner and Dr. Fernelli at Dentistry for All Ages focus on comprehensive consultations and most dental services. But start with an oral cancer screening using Velscope. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple process. And right now, you can get a free oral cancer screening with your dental cleaning and exam. Dentistry for All Ages is in Elk Grove Village, Suite 660, in the Eberly Building in Alexian Brothers Hospital, with a convenient indoor parking garage located on the first 4 floors. Call 847-439-2445 for an appointment, or go to dentistryforallage.com. Dentistryforallage.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, this is when Bruce's clothes were in style.
Is this Uptown
You and
Funk?
Mitch McConnell.
Bruce
Zanzibelt.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. Thank good, and for Dan and Amy. Thank goodness for Mitch McConnell, because I think he's going to be the one to get Mike Pompeo as Secretary of State. Pompeo wasn't even going to get out of committee.
Mitch McConnell, aside from that Aunt B old lady face, is the greatest fraud known to the American politics.
See, I totally
His
disagree
wife
with you. Oh, I know.
wired
She's,
into China.
Right.
The heiress of when he married her, they only had one ship. Now they have 40. So they want to talk about collusion with Trump and Russia. Nobody wants to talk about collusion with politicians for the last 40 years.
I don't mind
and
honest
enemies
graft.
of the state.
I don't mind honest graft.
Oh,
I mean,
come
I
on,
don't
it's
care about the
sickening.
Trump kids.
Half a man
I don't
that
even
he
care
is.
about collusion because I got Gorsuch, and that's all I care about.
Oh, you
so
got
Barbara Bush died, and I got to
Liked her
confess.
better than her husband.
I got to confess. First of all, 2 confessions. One, I admit that there was this Colbert writer who tweeted that Barbara Bush was the only woman who looked like she was 92 years old for the last 30 years. And I laughed at that, even though it's in bad taste. And I hate Colbert, and I really like Barbara
You're talking
Bush.
about Colbert, a pretend conservative, that fraud that he is with the sister and the Democrats.
You don't know who Colbert is?
I don't care. I don't pay attention to any of
Okay,
that
that's
stuff.
fine. I'm glad you're blissfully ignorant of Colbert.
Willfully.
Anyway, so Barbara Bush died, and I confess, when she died, I kind of like fast forwarded through special report on Fox, the whole 18 minutes on her.
Because you got a Brett Baer thing. You got a Brett Baer crush. You're a little weird with it.
Well, I don't like the fact that he's A, got the gig, and B, he gets to play golf when he wants to. And he actually asked the Dalai Lama. Brett Baer, the serious guy.
What do you like on your pizza?
May as well have. He asked the Dalai Lama when he interviewed him, "Are you aware of the movie Caddyshack?" And do you know the routine about total consciousness? And the Dalai Lama looked. It actually happened.
Yeah.
Brett Baer did this.
Did you think you were the only one that was bad at interviews?
It's like, but Brett, he's so serious all the time. So it was wonderfully comedic. Anyway, but I fast forwarded through that because, I'm kind of like Trump. I'm the president. I don't go to former first ladies' funerals. Obama didn't go to Nancy Reagan's. So your thoughts on Bush?
I think that Trump did a magnanimous thing. I think he realizes he would have been a distraction.
Oh, totally.
So I think he did a magnanimous thing. I think there are. I think Trump is more aware now of his reputation than he ever has been.
But he was criticized over the weekend because he's tweeting like a crazy man while this funeral's going on. And there's a picture of Melania and Barack. You say potato. Her and Barack Obama are sitting next to each other, and he's laughing. And, of course, all the tweets were like, see how wonderful Obama is. And this is the first time Melania has smiled, especially since the Stormy Daniels stuff came out. My thought was...
Is he laughing because Michelle has the same outfit on and 3 sizes bigger?
Exactly!
Yeah.
It's
the dainty woman.
I'm sitting with somebody who I could actually fit into a restaurant booth with now, Melania Trump. So that's what he's thinking. Michelle gave him hell after that.
Speaking of men with bad taste in women, is Angela Merkel married?
Angela?
Yeah,
Yes.
is she married?
To the state. She's married to the state
Man,
of Germany.
oh, man.
I am married to both East and West Germany.
Ooh. I don't know how they don't come up with Team Viagra Slayer. I mean, we could just go on and on and on.
Well, the old Jon Stewart joke, and I hide behind Jon Stewart's skirt about Hillary, where boners go to die.
Oh, hey, his name is Bruce Wolf, and he will pay the cost. Nice. I know after Proft wanders
it's Jon
off.
Stewart's line.
Yeah, sure.
I could say that a liberal said that.
Plausible deniability only comes if you're a congressman.
All right. So anyway, Barbara Bush dies, And what I loved, Heather Wilhelm in National Review had a very nice column comparing Tammy Jo Schultz. You know who she is.
A lot of Germans in this conversation.
Tammy Jo Schultz is the one who saved all the people on that Southwest Airlines flight. She's the pilot.
Oh, yeah.
She's the pilot.
Steve Buscemi with a wig? Yes.
Did you see her?
Yes.
The shot of her, it's from 26 years ago. And you know who else has a shot, a Twitter shot of himself as a pilot? Dan Proft.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the microphone,
with the goggles on,
goggles. And I was just thinking if Dan would just wear the wig, do the Jeannie Ives transgender commercial thing, only put the wig on himself, he would be so much more fetching as a pilot and so much more heroic, looking like Tammy Jo Schultz.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I laughed at that whole thing. Oh, look how calm she is. There's two kinds of things that are passed off as competency. Calm and totally unaware.
Well, she did a good job.
Oh, she did a great job. But the other thing is she's in the cockpit.
Now, what I don't understand is Southwest Airlines gives
everybody $5,000.
$5,000? Are you kidding? Paging Tom Demetrio. Remember when Dr. Dow was dragged?
Cutting your losses.
Well, Dr. Dow was dragged through the
First of all,
he gets 7 figures plus lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club. Can I have a
First of all he should have got was a beating
snare drum
and
on
thrown
that
off the airplane. I mean, have you ever lived in a society where this guy made millions.
Right, $5,000
for being a moron.
$5,000. The woman got sucked out of the plane like Gert Frobe in Goldfinger Cha-Cha. Oh, yeah,
too soon. Too soon. First of all, what a horrific.
It was horrible.
I travel a lot now because I'm prepared to flee.
So now you're going to sit in the aisle seat.
No, I always do.
Yeah,
small bladder. But just horrific.
That was terrible. Oh, all of a sudden, Sean is making me look like the blue, dirty
that's called
comic.
Pick your spots.
I mean, you're sounding like Wally Phillips right now. Another name you don't
run
know
the
about.
show.
You should have. You will be next hour.
Yeah.
And coming up next hour, we're going to hear from Dan and Amy. And
are they calling in?
No. Well, they got it. Some.
Can I hang up on Dan like he does me?
Dan's slightly inebriated from Mexico. Yeah. All that coming up.
I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's Expressway all clear for now. Kennedy inbound, heavy from 190 to Cumberland. It's 22 minutes, so here to downtown. Outbound 25. Delay starting around Lawrence. Got Eisenhower. Slow Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue and Western Burns Circle. 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford, 18 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Eastbound Adams Tollway slow from Tri-State Kennedy. Delays on I-65 northbound. 61st Avenue before Ridge. Crash in the two right lanes. Traffic is a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Look now at LQ.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny to partly cloudy, high 59. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 46.
Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 56, and a partly cloudy night, low 41. Wednesday, clouds and sun, high getting up to 52. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 43 at O'Hare. The news a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 5:59. And here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. The suspect in the deadly pre-dawn attack at a Tennessee Waffle House has been in trouble with the law before here in the state of Illinois. 4 are dead, 21 hurt after shootings across Chicago over the weekend, including one on Sunday morning. If you're headed to Kentucky or Michigan, Indiana's public health managers strongly suggesting that you get a hepatitis A vaccine. The city of Chicago is attempting to collect millions of dollars from 2 cash-strapped suburbs. We'll tell you why. Cubs edged the Rockies 9-7. Houston clobbered the White Sox 7-1. Sox on a 7-game slide. And the Bears are making final preps ahead of this week's NFL draft in Dallas. Sunny to partly cloudy and a high of 60 today. Partly cloudy and a low of 45 overnight. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
He hasn't been captured yet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The man who went on a shooting spree at a Tennessee Waffle House, killing 4 people, wounding 4 others until he was stopped by a customer.
I'm not a hero.
But people are calling Travis Shaw Jr. that.
And I think anybody could have did what I did if they're just pushed in that kind of cage.
He wrestled the gun away, then the shooter fled as they fought. Fox's Evan Brown has more on him live.
Dave, police were able to identify the gunman from the Waffle House in Antioch, Tennessee, as Travis Reinking, now 29 years old, who last summer was arrested after getting through the secure perimeter of the White House. He was found back then to own 4 firearms, including the AR-15 recovered from the Waffle House this weekend. His father back then agreed to take possession of the firearms. Police in Tennessee recovered 2 more of those guns from his apartment, but there is still 1 handgun unaccounted for, and Reinking is still not in custody, Dave.
Evan Francis leaders come to America. We'll spend the next 2 days with President Trump.
As French President Emmanuel Macron praised President Trump for progress on North Korea, but says he still has to deliver.
I think we'll always have to be very careful about this kind of declarations. But I think the pressure he put in this region, plus the Chinese role in this region, because President Trump worked very closely with President Xi, was useful.
This as North Korea announces a halt to nuclear testing and launches of intercontinental ballistic missiles and a closing of a test site.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. The French president urging the U.S. not to drop out of the Iran nuclear deal. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee will vote today on Mike Pompeo's nomination to be Secretary of State.
Republicans have a 1-seat majority on the panel, but Kentucky Republican Rand Paul has signaled opposition to Pompeo. A nominee failing to get a committee's approval is not fatal. Full Senate confirmation for Pompeo is still expected.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Larry Elder live in Chicago for Cigar Night, presented by Precision Payroll of America on Thursday, May 17th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Larry will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, and by the Elmhurst Cigar House.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services, oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready. Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Presentation is everything. If you don't have a great way to convey your message to clients, you may have lost half the battle. You need the right system and equipment for your conference and training rooms. Before you get overwhelmed and freak out over the latest technology, consult with Fathom Media. Fathom Media is a systems design specialist that will help bring your conference or boardroom into the 21st century and deliver presentations that cut through. From pre-design all the way through training you how to use and maintain your new system and equipment, Fathom Media is committed to your success, and it's more affordable than you may think. Communicating to clients, employees, and even customers doesn't have to be complicated. From business applications to churches and schools, Fathom Media will deliver your message using the latest and most effective technology for audio, video conferencing, interactive video walls, smartboards, kiosks, digital signage, and more. Choose Fathom Media. For a free design technology consultation, go to fathommedia.com. fathommedia.com.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Our telephone number is 312-642-5600. That's 312-642-5600. Maybe you're one of the listeners who didn't go on the trip with Dan and Amy to Mexico.
You know, we haven't gotten a call.
You don't have to say that.
Is it because we're pruning the audience? As Prof likes to
They're all
tell
with
me.
Dan and Amy
Calls
in
me the
Mexico.
pruner.
Call collect from Mexico. So, speaking of a throwback thing, we also you go to Income Store live video stream. You know, AM 560. The Answer.
No one wants to see you. You look
can
ridiculous.
see us. Well, I'm in the Amy.
Yeah, I think
Jacobson
they know
bikini.
which one we
I'm wearing
are.
the bikini top. You know, in honor of Amy.
And I'm the man.
And you're wearing and you're smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
In the studio, in violation of all the city codes, which is fine. You're asphyxiating me. I remember when I was in college, you'd sit in a lecture hall, and the guy next to you would be smoking. You'd be enveloped in smoke, and you wouldn't complain about it.
When you
now,
were in
I can't be
college,
within a zip code if somebody's smoking.
Doctors smoked when you were in college. You're like 80 years
the Mad
old.
Men era.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
What was the show where the gynecologist? I think it was in Mad Men, where the gynecologist is smoking while the woman is in the stirrups.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff.
Your clothes were in style.
We should mention that Mike Pompeo faces a terrible fight because it doesn't look like he'll get out of committee. This would be terrible. He was number one in his class at what college did he go to? I want to say one of those Ivy League schools. Went to Harvard Law. He
Head
actually
of the CIA, right?
Yeah, he actually edited the Harvard Law Review, not fake edited it like Barack Obama did.
Wait a minute. How come when conservatives go to Harvard, you tout it as a good thing, but yet when Obama was in, it's a bad thing?
You're exactly right.
You know what I mean? Let's have a new policy. No one from Harvard in government.
Look,
I'm in.
He went to Harvard Law, not the closed cover before striking school of law that Michael Cohen went to.
But wait, didn't Obama transfer like his senior year just to graduate from it? The old, look at my
So
resume.
many people do that. Yeah.
As opposed to you, who went to a great school and still can't get a job.
The guy did this initiative in North Korea. We may actually get North Korea to denuclearize.
They said that when Clinton said that in 94, right? It was going to be great for the country. This is all the same nonsense. It's the same song with different clothes.
And Bush was, bad with it too, and so was Obama. But now we're at the point where they've got, missiles that could reach the United States of America. So I'm a little bit concerned about it.
Let's get the party started. I want to see how it turns out.
I can't get over this Waffle House guy, James Shaw Jr.
You know what I'm surprised at?
Yes.
Nobody in a Waffle House had a gun.
Right.
Waffle House, I mean, you could shoot
would
a
expect
gun
it.
commercial.
I'll bet you it's like a no-gun zone. I think it's...
Absolutely not. Listen, first of all, I travel.
Wait, was the Waffle House... That's a good question. Was it a no-gun zone? I think it was.
It's all full of truckers. You cannot have a no-gun zone on a truck
You know how the
route.
liberals are looking at this. They're looking at it was a Waffle House. They deserved it because they're rednecks.
First of
That's
all,
what
they're not
looked at.
liberals. They're fascists.
Do you want to hear from James Shaw Jr., this guy who saved everybody, was the hero?
Hero.
Okay, I'm playing it right now. And
Sure you are.
At the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling. And I managed to get him with one hand on the gun, and then I grabbed it from him and I threw it over the countertop. And then after that, I was trying to get out the door, and I think he was pretty...
No, see, I want to hear the bite where he talks in the third person about himself. He says, he refers to himself as James Shaw. And he says he, and you know how athletes do that all the time?
Yeah.
Athletes are ridiculous when they do this. But this guy actually deserves to talk about himself in the third person.
And the real reason he got away is because he was wrestling with a naked guy. Nobody really wants to grab a naked guy. You know what I mean? That's
also,
how he got
a naked guy with an AR-15.
Yeah.
But
he got the gun away from him.
That's
so
a
now
double
at this point,
whammy.
he's just naked in a Waffle House.
Yeah.
Which is the beginning of every bad porno movie.
Yes. It's a little too soon,
All
but,
right.
but as somebody who's done this very often myself, kudos to you.
Naked in a Waffle House?
No,
Or
who's
radio?
jumped
Yeah.
in too soon.
Oh, sure,
like
yeah.
this, with the humor about this. But no, he actually, maybe this is the soundbite here.
We left the club at about 2:30ish.
No.
We actually went to the Bell Road.
No. Okay.
We're going to get a recap of the whole evening?
No, right.
And we
and
end
in the
after...
beginning, the earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came.
Yeah.
But there's a soundbite where the guy just says.
So I like Waffle
he says
House.
James Shaw Jr. did this, and then he refers to himself with the pronoun he. So he keeps it consistent. A lot of times when people like LeBron says LeBron did this, he'll then say I did. Go back to the first person pronoun. But this guy kept it consistent, so he's grammatically consistent. He referred to himself in the third person, and it was beautiful that he did it because he deserves to do it because he's an actual hero, not some jock. So congratulations to James Shaw Jr.
Okay, now I'm going to get off that dead-end road you were just
Yeah,
on.
go right. We're
I
off that
have been
cul-de-sac.
to many Waffle Houses
Yeah.
because I travel a lot. Sometimes when I can't get a plane to Florida, I drive. I love the drive, okay?
And there's nothing but Waffle Houses from here to Florida.
And I love it. By the way, it's phenomenal.
Is there an IHOP or anything?
No.
Did you ever hear the Dennis Miller routine where he goes, what's so international, cha-cha, about a pancake? Very funny the way he delivered it.
Yeah, not so much the way you do it.
No,
So,
that's the
anyway,
difference between me and Dennis Miller.
I've been in a lot of Waffle Houses, and the
Yeah.
one thing about Waffle Houses is they tend to have a lot of real men, truckers.
Right.
And they're all pretty much
Even the
armed.
waitresses are men.
Yeah, you
Yes.
don't want to. I'll tell you what, they'll
Yeah.
definitely take you. But they're.
I'm a little too slender.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
please. You'll end up in a tutu picking up, get the fries. But I'm surprised that no one else in that Waffle House was armed.
I'm telling you, I bet you it was a no
such thing.
no smoting.
That's only
zone.
in Illinois. They put the little gun sticker on there. First of all,
Which
as
invite they're soft targets and they invite people with guns. That's what
as
they
someone who has a concealed carry
Mhm.
and someone who carried before I had a concealed carry, we don't pay attention to that. I have never not brought my gun in a place with a little no gun sticker. Ever. It's always on me. What do you think of that?
I'm going to have you arrested.
Why not?
There's a Portillo's in Deerfield that had a big demonstration about that. The new Portillo's.
First of all, I happen to
I'm
know
gonna have
Dick
you arrested
Portillo's
there.
kids. They have guns too. So when they stop carrying, I'll stop.
Well, they
carrying.
need to because they're targets. They're famous people.
We all get
they're
to carry.
rich.
You know what I mean?
I'm like Barney Fife. Like in theory, I'm in favor of the Second Amendment, and I will defend the Second Amendment to the death. But I'm nervous around weaponry.
That's 'cause you're a girl.
It makes me very nervous. I've shot a gun only like one time. My brother-in-law took me to a gun range, and I shot a 38, and I hit the target from 15 feet away. The 45 was nowhere near it. The recoil just blew me back into the wall.
I don't have. Here's the thing, and Dan makes fun of me. Prof makes fun of me from time to time. I don't have. My gun is a 25. It's a little
25.
Yeah, I want you alive a little
It's
bit.
not quite
so
a 22. It's
you
not quite a
before
38.
You die.
What's a 25?
It's a 25. It's a little 25. It's just for self-defense. It's just enough to
Here, go shoot out that AM 560 logo on the wall from 15 feet.
No.
Sean is here. He's smoking a cigar, and he's brandished a weapon so that I hit the traffic on time. All right.
Get the traffic. I know what a stickler you are on time. You think somehow if you get it on time, they're going to say, let's have a job. We're not going to get hired.
No.
They hate us.
No, I was always a great adherent to being Mussolini to keep the trains and the traffic on time, and it doesn't do anything.
Didn't work out well for him either.
No, right there you go. So, what should we talk about when we come back from our commercial break? Oh, you know what I want to do?
Will President Trump pardon his attorney, Michael Cohen? Let's go. See, here's the thing.
That's the CNN topic right now. Wait a minute. Isn't this jumping the gun? He hasn't even been charged with anything yet.
I know you're the expert in radio, and you've been doing it ever since they used to have to wind it up before electricity. But we have these monitors right here.
Sure.
So we should never, and I want to only talk about pertinent stuff. We could talk about your hair
We'll
gel.
just riff on everything that we see on the television.
Well, that's what it's all about,
That's
baby.
what we'll do. But I do want to give you a lecture on tariffs and
Oh,
why
really?
they're no good.
Okay.
I call it 60 seconds of insanity. That's what I do.
It's just
All right.
another text.
All right, let's take a check of the traffic and the weather right now here on AM 560, The Answer.
Just give me my gun. Sorry, the law requires a 5-day waiting period. We've got to run a background check.
5 days? But I'm mad now. There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, today's the best day of the week. The high is 60. It's going to be sunny. This is the day you get outside. This is the day you call in sick. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 45. And then it's going to get worse each day of the week by like 2 to 3 degrees. You really want the details? Well, then watch Skilling and see what he had for lunch because there's a spot on his shirt. Now we're going to go to Jim Telemonte, who's going to tell us where the morning morons are.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Bruce. Kennedy inbound. It's heavy from 190 to Canfield and Austin to Central. 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound about 30 minutes now. Delays are from Montrose much of the way to 190, and it's stop and go on westbound 190, Kennedy to the Tri-State. Eden's inbound. 2-minute delay now, Cicero to the junction. Outbound it's clear. About Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30 at Stevenson. 43 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford lightened up, still a little heavy, approaching the merge. Eastbound Adams Stillway stop and go from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Northbound I-65 is heavy. 61st Avenue to before Ridge Road, but a crash there cleared out of the way, so things are getting better. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560, The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
Stuck in an expensive timeshare contract and feel like there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group. I've helped thousands of people get rid of their timeshares.
I didn't realize what I was getting into. The whole thing was just a scam. I finally found information on Chuck, and he agreed to meet us. It was just a wonderful experience because he knows that business inside out, and he actually wanted to solve our problem.
I fought the largest timeshare company in federal court, and yes, I won. Whether you owe $10,000 to $250,000 on your timeshare, we can help cancel your mortgage. When you're approved as a client, I guarantee you a 100% success rate. We'll get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off of your back permanently. And we proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free consultation at 800-786-9300. That's 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
At Joe Cotton Ford, we're making it fun and easy for you to buy your next new vehicle. It's all because of the Joe Cotton Ford promise. No one treats you better, and no one works harder to save you money. For 44 years, we've been treating our customers like family. We're here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs and budget. And talk about prices, right now lease the exciting 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150 STX 4x4 Crew Cab for just $299 per month for 24 months. Come see why we're Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience and why Ford is America's best-selling brand. We'll show you all of the Joe Cotton Ford exclusives that make a Ford from Joe Cotton a better value, like 2 years free maintenance and rental car coverage. It's our promise to you we'll treat you great and save you money. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. At Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com.
To qualified buyers, 24-month FMCC red carpet low mileage lease, $29.95 down plus taxes and fees. First month's payment due at delivery. See dealer for details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy. Now, I was mentioning this Waffle House hero, James Shaw Jr. Can we just listen to him?
Go ahead,
well,
everybody.
It's beautiful. Listen, he's talking about himself in the third person, and I say bravo because he is an actual hero.
And I don't think I want to be a hero. I think I just want to be James, and James used what he had to free himself, and in the midst of freeing himself, he saved, people.
So he said,
well, not everybody can afford their cousin to be their promo director and agent, such as yourself. He's doing both. I give him a lot of credit.
He's dressed real nicely. He's got the bandage on his hand, and he's got. It's like the athletes, the basketball players, when they come out after the game and they dress in these $2,000 suits, and they try to talk very intelligently, like Michael Jordan would say, to some extent, to a certain degree.
I say we go on the topics because you're going to dig yourself in a hole here. Okay,
and then
big guy?
And then the basketball players refer to themselves in the third person, but it's only a basketball game. This guy's an actual hero, so he deserves to say. And then he was consistent. He said James. He used the third person pronoun he, then himself, so he didn't switch over to I, the first person. It was wonderful. I just love that he was a hero and grammatically consistent. Well, thank you, James Shaw Jr. You're our player of the day.
Let's put a lid on that coffin. All right, now listen. If if Rand Paul looked like Mitt Romney, we'd be a lot better off. You know what I mean? Because here's this Mitt Romney. This guy moves to a different state, right?
Well, that is his home state. Well, although he was the governor of Massachusetts.
He's the governor of Massachusetts.
Well, it's like
How
the
about
Bushes.
Michigan?
The Bushes are from Texas, and then they go to Kenny Bunkport.
Why doesn't he just become a mannequin in a JCPenney and get it over with? I'm sick of Mitt
Is
Romney and
JCPenney
his failure.
still around? Because I know Carson's is closing.
It is in Utah.
There's no brick-and-mortar stores anymore.
You know this buffoon, so he's all arrogant with his doll face. He goes to Utah.
Buffoon died 3 years ago.
He goes to Utah.
Buffoon.
And he thinks he's gonna be the senator from Utah.
He's getting a challenge.
He lost. He couldn't secure the nomination. Now what are you going to do?
I don't know. He should have become Secretary of State when Trump offered it to him.
First of all, we already have the Bushes. We don't need Mitt Romney.
Same thing.
Same
Duplicative.
thing. Worse
Same
hair.
Stuff. Yeah.
That's it.
That's why Trump won.
Yeah. You take 4 follicles away from Mitt Romney. You got Jeb Bush. They believe in the same nonsense. They have. Pretty much they just want that upper echelon of the society to make all the rules, kind of what Trump is implementing in the back door, but at least he makes you feel like he's different.
When Jeb Bush gave the eulogy for his mother over the weekend, at some point did he say, please applaud? Did he ask that for the like he did when he was on the campaign trail?
So he came to Oak Brook.
Did
you know that? Jeb Bush was in Oak Brook the day after his mother died.
Right.
And a friend of mine had a couple tables, and he's like, hey, you want to go see Jeb Bush? Why would I want to go see Jeb Bush? You could promise
Was it
that
a
I'll sit in
freebie?
the
Were you
front
going to
row.
be a seat filler
So
or
they
what?
pan out, and here it looks like the Villa Scalabrini during lunchtime. All these old buffoons sitting there. Oh, it's Jeb Bush. Talk about irrelevant. But these Bushes are going to pretend to be relevant because you know what they know they have? They have the lobbyists. They have the money. They have the PACs. They've got Karl Rove in his Victoria's Secret underwear. They already have that establishment. So all you're going to have are these same buffoons.
They're never going to get elected again.
just this-
No, it's over
No,
because
you
the
got Jeb
Republican
Bush's
Party
kid.
was hijacked by Donald Trump. I mean, I have an affinity for the never Trumpers in the conservative movement, but I voted for the guy, and I'll vote for him again. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
No, I
well,
didn't.
What did you
vote.
do?
I filed none of the above. You know, I love to do this.
Would you rather have Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court taking away the Second Amendment right now?
Would he have done differently than this guy that
Gorsuch?
Gorsuch, didn't he just give you a nail in the coffin?
No, Gorsuch just doesn't like that overly broad written legislation.
Oh, come
That's
on.
all.
Don't give me the nonsense.
Neil Gorsuch is going to protect the Second Amendment.
Who appointed John Roberts?
Truman?
Bush, right? John Roberts, the conservative. You remember
But
all
Gorsuch
the, all
is
the
a
nonsense?
conservative.
Hold on a minute. Let me explain how it really works.
Thank you.
When they have the agenda to expand government, it doesn't matter what they pretend to be during the talk show circuit. John Roberts rewrote Obamacare so it could now be the cornerstone of tyranny that it is.
Do you know who lied during her confirmation hearings?
Let me guess.
Elena
Was it Hector
Kagan.
Macho Camacho
No.
Sotomayor?
Close.
Elena Kagan, Chris Farley?
Elena Kagan lied, and I think it
Fat
was
judge in a
about
little robe?
I think it was about gay marriage. I can't remember what the issue was. I think it was, but I think she flat out lied, and then just changed. Once she got in, she said, "Okay, yeah, I'm in."
Every
I'm in
4
favor of it."
years, we pretend this is an issue. Every 4 years, you pretend you have a little beacon of hope and freedom and an expansion of liberty. And every time they make a ruling, they prove you wrong. I'm done with them. 5 dictators aren't going to decide pro or con for me. I decide what my rights are. Not Elena Kagan in her boxer shorts.
Charles Murray has suggested civil disobedience. Just don't file your tax returns.
I
See what
file 'em,
happens.
please, I just got
Can I give you a
disgusted.
tariff lecture right now? Because I listened to Scott Lincecum, this guy on a Jonah Goldberg, the Remnant podcast. So I just want to show that I'm smart right now.
You're going to give me the new conservatism? How tariffs are conservative?
No,
I love how
they're not. No,
conservatism-
tariffs are bad. Okay, so just see if you agree. Buttress my arguments right here. And this is 60 seconds of insanity. I call it. It's
All right.
downstream ideas. All right. First of all, we don't have a trade deficit with Target. Trade deficits are not bad.
You don't have a trade deficit anywhere.
There's no such thing as trade deficits aren't bad. It's like when you shop at Target, it's okay that you're giving them money, they're giving your goods. They don't have to shop at your store too. That's what Trump is
learned
talking
this
about.
from listening to my show. So you're going to give me the lecture?
Exactly. The second thing is the money comes back to us in investments. That's called an investment surplus. Or it eventually has to come back to us because we're the world's currency. Eventually the dollar comes back to the United States. Okay?
Look at you. You got more in common with Milton Friedman than your good looks.
There we go. And we're both bar mitzvahed at the same synagogue.
Why wouldn't you be?
All right. Also, you know what causes the trade deficit? It's not trade deficits per se. It's that we consume so much. There's so much consumers spending, and we don't save, so that causes the deficit. But you don't want to do anything about that. Also, it's difficult to figure out what to put a tariff on. You ever read the essay I Pencil, which is all about that a pencil has, the rubber for them, the eraser is from Ceylon, the wood is from, I don't know, some forest somewhere. All these products don't come from one place. They're put together from many, many places. So what do you put the tariff on? Another thing is we think that they're cheating on intellectual property. Okay, they're stealing our intellectual property. But did you know, Sean, that a lot of our companies sell or give their intellectual property to China? They give it in order to get the business there. So it's not that simple. They don't really quite steal it a lot of the time.
Of course they don't. Not only don't they steal it, there has been agreements with politicians that give them the information that everyone is mad about. See, they don't even know because they hear these words, right? Deficits, steal intellectual properties,
right?
And it's these torches of hatred that people hear and they run with without doing the thinking of. You can go back to the Clintons, who were so interwoven with China,
right,
that Bill Clinton had given some real weaponized information about our weapon system, about our satellites.
Oh, right.
He told them about the batteries.
Yeah.
All this. So all of this stuff people pretend they're mad about when they hear of little Johnny and his invention. This happened by politicians. Once again, it's the root of failed government and failed government occupants that have given the fodder for this hatred that we now exhibit without the thought. The word deficit, for example, is a made-up word. There is no such thing. You have a labor deficit with your landscaper. You give him your dirty paper, he does services you're too lazy or you prefer to pay for to do. Simple. It's the same thing with trade. What they're not addressing is what causes the need for the entrepreneur or the manufacturer to go to another country is the abuse of government interwoven with
there's nothing wrong with
unions.
other countries doing other things. One other thing is that, a lot of times we say that we need protectionism in order to protect infant industries, in order to protect, because you don't want China to take over steel, and then China's got the military, and then we won't even have a steel industry. But you don't trust government to decide what are going to be the industries that are really going to need propping up, because government doesn't really know how to pick winners. They know how to pick cronies.
A great man once said, protectionism is the death rattle of a nation.
Was that Sean Thompson?
Yes, it was.
It's like, and who said Illinois isn't broke, it's fixed? Who said that?
Croft.
That's right. Yeah. And
what did Bruce Wolf say? Nothing.
Bruce Wolf said plagiarism is the sincerest form of flattery. That's what I said.
Explains your career.
When we come, let's go to the news.
Mike Scott.
Is that what we're doing right now? Are we going to the news
Mike
with Mike Scott? Mike, can you tell us that the Kentucky Derby? I understand nobody wants to go and share a mint julep with anybody this year because they're afraid they're going to get hepatitis.
It is a problem for our friends in Kentucky, where they've had 3 die of hepatitis A.
Oh, wow.
And recently 300 cases in and around the counties around Louisville. So, of course,
the good
they're
news
saying
is traffic will lighten up.
Yeah, well, maybe cross the bridge. They're saying, yeah, come anyway. Everything's fine. And it's not anywhere near us, but it is. And Indiana, of course, is the one creating unfriendly neighbors this morning, telling people they need to get a hepatitis A vaccine to go to Michigan.
So Illinois is the only safe state right now.
Apparently.
You're going to be taxed to death.
Yeah, well.
Thank you.
You bet. 45 degrees. Clouds and sunshine, 6:29, coming up on 6:30. And along with you, we're watching developments in Tennessee, where authorities are hunting for the man they say shot and killed 4 at a restaurant in a Nashville suburb. Police believe 29-year-old Travis Reinking opened fire at that Waffle House yesterday. Authorities here in Illinois and in Tennessee say the shooter's father had the legal right to keep weapons that Travis Reinking once surrendered to Illinois officers.
He was allowed to do that after he assured deputies that he would keep them secure and away from Travis.
Now, Reinking remains at large and possibly armed with 2 guns police believe that are missing. The Trump administration wants North Korea to dismantle its nuclear weapons program before the U.S. grants any sanction relief. Wall Street Journal is quoting a senior Trump administration official saying President Trump will not make substantial concessions unless North Korea gets rid of its nuclear program. French President Emmanuel Macron looking for a backup plan if the U.S. pulls out of the Iran nuclear deal.
What do you have as a better option? I don't see it. What is the what-if scenario or your plan B? I don't have any plan B for nuclear against Iran.
On Fox News Sunday, the French leader added the framework of the deal should be preserved. Senator Bob Corker says under ordinary times, Secretary of State nominee Mike Pompeo would be confirmed overwhelmingly already.
He is more qualified probably than either of them, but at least as qualified. And we just live in a very partisan environment.
On CNN State of the Union, the Tennessee Republican adds this is an era when someone like Pompeo is likely to be voted out of committee without a recommendation, but that may not threaten his appointment to the post. The death toll continues to rise after a suicide bombing in Afghanistan's capital has claimed at least 57 lives, 100 others were hurt. 4 are dead and 21 hurt after shootings in Chicago over the past weekend. One man was killed in a shooting in a parking lot of a club on the south side. That happened Saturday morning. Sunday morning, a 26-year-old was found with fatal gunshot wounds on West Hollywood on the northwest side. Authorities say a motorist who was inside of a car that drove off Navy Pier and then plunged into Lake Michigan has died. The incident happened Friday night. Chicago fire officials say later on in the weekend that victim died at Northwestern Hospital. Leaders of a Chicago area evangelical church that became one of the largest in the nation say they are renewing their examination of the church's former pastor. The Reverend Bill Hybels retired from Willow Creek Community Church earlier this month after allegations he touched and made lewd comments to female congregants. The elders and an outside investigator have already cleared Hybels of wrongdoing in a previous inquiry. Cubs jump out to a quick 6-0 advantage and hold on to beat the Rockies in Denver 9-7. Houston beat the White Sox 7-1. Bears making final preparations ahead of this week's NFL draft in Dallas. The news, a service of Rogers and Hollins Jewelers. Hey, listeners, consider this your official reminder. Mother's Day is May 13. Rogers and Hollins Diamond Sale is going on right now. Shop in-store and online for 30% off all diamond jewelry at Rogers and Hollins, Chicago's family-owned jewelry store for over 100 years. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's mind.
How do they reconcile their self-image as intellectually open with their practice of intellectually being closed? They really believe that there is no other way to approach life than a left-wing way. So you are not being intellectually closed by not allowing a conservative to speak.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Looking to refinance your existing mortgage and want the lowest rates and lowest closing costs? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Other lenders boast about having low closing costs, which is like me saying I look good in a pair of 32-inch pants. Truth is, other lenders' closing costs are substantially higher than Team Hochberg's closing costs, and I haven't fit into a pair of 32-inch pants in over 40 years. Compare Team Hochberg's closing costs against any other lenders, and if our closing costs aren't lower, I'll donate to Veterans Roasters, an organization who hires homeless veterans to roast coffee, and an organization Team Hochberg already financially supports. When securing a mortgage, you can either work with a lender whose definition of low closing costs are over $1,000 higher than ours, or you can call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
16 million people suffer from depression in this country. 6 million of them have drug-resistant depression, which means they do not find any relief. Hi, my name is Ben Klein. And I know this very well, as my oldest daughter suffers from depression, and she did not find any relief from the drugs. We found TMS therapy, and we got her the treatment, and it completely changed her life. If you're one of those 6 million people who suffer from drug-resistant depression, contact us. It can change your life, too.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life. And it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. In a natural way, you can make real progress in the battle with depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
It is 6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Got some problems on I-80 westbound. It's stop and go from Wolf Road to Maple. I got a crash from a tank truck, which is on its side there. The Eden's inbound is heavy starting at Dempster. 26 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, 35 minutes now. O'Hare to downtown. 17 from Montrose, 14 on the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose, 48 to the airport. Additional delays on westbound 190. Eisenhower, 53 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 34. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 Bishop Ford, just a little heavy approaching the Ryan. Traffic at the service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases, in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunny to partly cloudy skies today. We will top out near 60, partly cloudy and 45 overnight. Currently, we have 44. Next news coming up at 7. With Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from Dan and Amy in the next segment. They're in Mexico with the listeners. I actually listened to Dennis Prager for a couple of seconds last week. He said something interesting. It was about the Starbucks incident.
Yeah.
I mean, he was saying it's going to be ridiculous because everybody, Starbucks is going to have to let anybody in all the time. They're going to have no policy, and the homeless are going to
It'll
be
become
in there all
a
the time.
warming center.
Right. And I thought a rebranding for Starbucks. What do you think? Call it Homeless Depot. What do you think?
Oh,
Homeless Depot.
I like it. You know, here's the other thing. I'm actually a huge Starbucks consumer.
Sure.
I love them, and you know, I know that's not conservative view, but I like the product.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they have a drive-through. And I took my daughter last night, and on their computer, they have a mission statement that is about their service to the customer and how they are to be interacting and concerned with the customer. And, you know, I run a couple of businesses, and that's the exact opposite way I run my business. If I don't like you, I throw you out.
Really?
I have the right of
Nobody can come into
exclusion.
your place of business?
No.
What do you actually show homes as a real estate agent?
Of course I do.
Okay, so you show homes.
I only work with people I like.
If somebody comes in and doesn't buy the home, will you not let them use the toilet of the house that you're...
First of all,
What's the policy?
Well, in the real estate business, I only really like buyers because buyers are the ones that should get the most value for their money. And sellers in real estate, everybody thinks their shoes are better than their neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have the same exact house as your neighbor, yet you think yours is better. So they're unrealistic. Whereas buyers, I like to take advantage of the macroeconomics of a community, which is why, as a real estate broker, I have instructed my people to not buy real estate in Illinois. It is a losing proposition. So
Thanks.
that's why I was
Thanks for
licensed.
leading the exodus.
That's why 3 years ago I opened up in Florida because I am a fiduciary. I take that very seriously.
Hey, don't talk dirty on the
All right.
station. So as far as the Starbucks things go, which we're calling Homeless Depot now, it seems like the woman, the barista, was she the manager of the store?
Yeah,
All right.
they
She
were
may-
not buying anything, and she asked them to leave.
Right, but she may have a defamation case against Howard Schultz. You talk about a fiduciary accent on the second syllable. Yeah. This guy claims that she was guilty of unconscious racism. He has no idea what she was guilty of. First of all, what the heck is unconscious racism? But there is no clear policy at Starbucks. When you go into a Starbucks, I've gone in there, waited for a friend, but you always get something. But if you don't get something, you could be thrown out if you're white, black, Asian. And to call her a racist was ridiculous.
I also own a retail business. Aside from being a real estate broker, I own a cigar store.
Oh, cigar store.
Cigar house.
And when people go into the
if you're not there to buy
store,
something, odds are I'm going to throw you out.
Will you let them use your restroom?
If you come in with a Che Guevara shirt on, odds are I'm going to throw you out.
Wait a minute.
I have the right of exclusion.
How could you, at a cigar place, how could you throw out a Cuban walking in with a cigar in his mouth?
I will not throw out a Cuban. I will throw out a communist.
But Castro's all about cigars.
Yeah, but that's not that's not the real Cubans. All right. That's just the communists. So I have the right of exclusion, which is what owners of businesses have. Owners of property have.
I'm going to send a black guy into your store and represent him and sue your pants off.
First of all, he won't be. The odds are there will be other ones, other black people there because I am not a racist. I am a
black people patronize your cigar store.
I am.
You allow them to sit in the back and talk with everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay.
My ism is communism.
Are they in a separate spot from there? Do they have a separate water fountain, a separate ashtray?
I don't look at people in race. I look at them in the content of their character. So I decide who gets to come in.
It's called Dr. King's Cigar Shop in Elmhurst.
Well, listen. Yes. I truly believe that it's not about race to me. It's character.
I could see just from looking at Sean and seeing his demeanor right now, And he swallowed very hard when he said that.
That's because you're interrupting me, and I want to reach over the counter and choke you. But I'm not going to do that.
You
because
actually mean what you say.
Of course
it does. You're a good guy.
Oh, thanks.
But a lot of people aren't, which is why we need the government to take over and guarantee that we have affirmative action and to give us, re-educate everybody. Starbucks is going to close on May 29th, all 8,000 of its stores, so that everybody is re-educated or given sensitivity training on their unconscious racism, which does not exist. They can't, or you certainly can't quantify it, but people like to think that they can. So it went a little bit overboard. And now I'd sue the pants off of
when you think
Howard
about
Schultz.
When you think about how this affects everybody, it's not just that small little segment. Do you realize how many of your pension funds out there own Starbucks stock?
Right.
That these nonsensical decisions made by a CEO that should be removed,
right,
affect the actual retirement pensions
Yeah.
of people, affect the national economy, because this guy is going to change policy to intentionally destroy profit of a business that, in essence, we all need to be profitable.
Well, and just to show you how crazy this thing has gotten, that black woman who heads like the Women's Lives March or the Women's March, she doesn't want Jews involved in the Starbucks re-education program, or because she's anti-Israel or whatever. So it's like, now you get.
Which I got to talk. I want to.
Well, it's so difficult. Well, I just want to say this. It's so difficult because now you got minorities competing with each other and saying that other minorities can't be involved and that they're not pure enough.
You know what bothers me about the Israel comments all the time? How we have to have this blanket acceptance or blanket rejection. Why can't I hate that stuff? I'm going to tell you something. There are people in Israel who are socialists, who are bad people. There are good people in Israel. It's no different than any other country. I hate this idea that if we're Christian, if we're conservative, we must take this stance to accept everybody in Israel. I don't agree with it. Israel has some really good things, and it has some really bad things. For number one, why do we constantly blindly give Israel money?
Oh, brother. I guess we're going to...
Seriously.
I guess,
what
do you mean blindly?
Blindly.
Well, we don't blindly.
Of course we do.
The Palestinians, Abba Eban said that the Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Israel is bent over backwards to try to help out
Israel
the
is
Palestinians.
a very rich country that the American government funds blindly without
They're
watching.
an ally of ours.
Okay, so what? So we
the
have
American
to give
government funds
Why are
Palestinians
we giving them all
too.
this money without any?
We shouldn't give them the Iron Dome
We
to
shouldn't give
protect
anybody
themselves?
any money. What do you think of that?
Thank you, Rand Paul.
All right. We got a bunch
Appreciate
of callers
that.
here. Let's get on here.
All right. We'll take these calls after we take this break for traffic. I'm leaving, of course, because
You should leave. Let me just run
you're
the damn
anti-Israel.
show. I'm not
Okay.
anti-Israel.
Let's take a check of the traffic and the weather.
Spare some change?
Sure.
You didn't put anything in there.
Yes, I did. I put hope in there. Hope. Don't spend it all in one place, Raggy.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Today, sunny, partly cloudy, high of 60. Tonight, down to 45. Tomorrow, it's going to be 58. It's really going to stink until we get to Friday, which is 53. I mean, is it ever going to be spring, Telemonte? Is it ever going to be spring?
I don't know, Sean. Good question. It's rough sledding on I-80 westbound this morning. No spring there. And Sean and Bruce, we got a tank truck on its side. This is right near Maple Street. Delay starter on Wolf Road on the westbound side of I-80. No closures on the eastbound side. Delays on the northbound tri-state from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Eastbound Adams Tollway stop and go from the tri-state to the Kennedy. Reagan Tollway now delays York to the tri-state. Edens, 26 minutes Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 21. Kennedy, 35 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 48. On Eisenhower, now 53 minutes from 390 to the Circle, outbound 34. Northbound I-55 bottled up 126 to Weber, crash in the left lane. And more delays kick in at 355. It's an hour and 4 minutes. Veterans Memorial to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 21 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Forge is 16. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Wally Hines, in for Lou Dobbs. Big banks on a roll under new tax laws. Walmart testing a new dress code for employees. First quarter results for Procter & Gamble signal trouble. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. I want to get a few things straight. First off, I like freedom. Second, I like money. Fact is, I like freedom and money. which is why I love Freedom Checks, a unique investment that can secure your retirement income without being tied down to the government. And while I'm no genius, I am smart enough to follow an expert like Matt, who showed me how anyone has the chance to stake their claim on an estimated $34.6 billion payout. To get all the details from Matt, just go to myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. Now, how much your check is depends on how much you put behind Matt's insights, but the potential here is undeniable. Of course, if you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion, you must have your ducks in a row ASAP. So don't wait. Go see Matt at myfreedomchecks.com. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
In first quarter, America's 6 big Wall Street banks posted near-record profits due to the billions they saved in taxes. Citigroup and J.P. Morgan Chase were among the big winners as the Fed reduced corporate taxes. So the new tax law is not only boosting incomes of individual taxpayers, but also big businesses across the nation. Walmart employees may be getting more freedom in their dress codes. The retailer says it's experimenting at 100 stores nationally, letting staff wear blue jeans instead of khakis. The last revision in Walmart's dress code was back in 2015. Although first quarter results for Procter & Gamble beat expectations, the company says higher transportation costs and price tensions from retailers may impact future profits. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 at 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Building owners and managers. When it comes to maintaining the value of your commercial, industrial, or institutional building, there will be roof repairs or replacements for you to deal with. When you're looking for a good roofing contractor, search the ChicagoRoofing.org website for Chicagoland's best roofing contractors for repairs, replacements, or new construction. And you can check out their innovative roofing work also. All contractors at ChicagoRoofing.org proudly employ members of Roofers Union Local 11 who have undergone 5 years of rigorous training at the country's leading school for roofing, the Chicagoland Roofers Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. ChicagoRoofing.org contractors are at the top of their game and provide Chicagoland's best value for the best roofs all year long. Building owners and managers, you will have roof repairs or replacements to deal with. It's inevitable. Go to ChicagoRoofing.org. That's ChicagoRoofing.org.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Game show idea. Comey, Corey, or Christian. I'm going to read a series of passages, and you tell me which was said or written by former FBI Director Jim Comey, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, or 50 Shades of Grey protagonist Christian Grey. Let's begin. I want you to know that nothing has happened in the last year to change my view. Boy, those were the words I needed to hear. I know. And the East Coast loves you, and by the East Coast, I mean me. Do you think gay sex is a perversion? We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. He was not going to get a hug without being a whole lot stronger than he looked. He wasn't. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are 2 shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. As he extended his hand, I made a mental note to check its size. It was smaller than mine, but did not seem unusually so. Look out, E.L. James. Jim Comey and Cory Booker are coming for you.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola, buenos dias, me llamo Dan. Dan and Amy show.
Me llamo Amy.
What's show in Spanish?
El Show.
Yeah, very fluent. This is. We are, of course, coming to you from Passport to Paradise, Secrets Maroma Beach Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico, presented by our friends at Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, and OPM Tax Resolution, the law offices of Stephen Leahy. And Amy, we're here with our big trip winners. They're the Cotters.
The Cotters.
Lauren. Excuse me. I'm a little choked up. I'm so excited for them. Lauren and Patrick Cotter from scenic Elwood, Illinois.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of Illinois' own hazard county where Larry Walsh is boss hog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so, Lauren, how did you win the trip? What happened?
I put my email address into the box and pressed enter.
It's a fascinating story. That is an incredible story.
It's
hard to believe that happened that way. Wow.
How did you find out you won the trip?
Not since Ernest Hemingway have I been exposed to a storyteller of this quality.
Really deep questions. How did you find out you won the trip?
I was called
on the telephone by any chance?
And
I thought this couldn't get any better. What?
They didn't fly it behind a plane in front of my house. They called me on the telephone.
Yeah.
And I missed the call because I was not in a place, because I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't answer it.
No.
Safety first.
All the
Stranger
details on
danger.
how you connected with the people who told you you'd want a trip.
So I ignored you guys at first. And so she called back, and luckily my husband answered the phone. And it was kind of weird when he looked at me and said, Lauren. I kind of knew what he was talking. That's what you sounded like.
This is not working out. No, this is. We're
Well, they
going on
actually,
vacation.
they actually bought the trip and then won the trip. No, they bought the trip and then they won the trip.
Yeah.
So this is awesome.
Yeah, we bought the trip. Actually, I tweeted at Dan to ask him when the trip would be available, and he didn't know. So
He's not good on details. You stick
It's
with
always
me
a
for
surprise to
details.
me.
he said keep watching the website, so I did, and I saw it come up on like the first or second day. Filled out the form the next day, and I think we were the first ones to actually reserve it. And
Yeah,
then-
what are the odds of that? And then the real story is, Lauren's a state worker. We're trying to get more state business. This is a little quid pro quo, Illinois style, trying to
she
use her
works for
juice.
The Illinois Department of Health.
We need to get all that sweet Department of Health advertising, so we thought we'd send the Cotters with
And
us.
Patrick Cotter had the privilege of golfing with Dan Proft. How did that go?
Dan shot a 78 and I shot an 84.
Oh,
Well,
lies,
exactly.
lies, fake news, fake news.
There's somebody who's reading his lines.
No, did you bring the card, the scorecard?
I did not.
No,
I left it in
Just
the
don't
room.
worry about the scorecard.
You and the scorecard.
It was a difficult day. I'm still acclimating from the jet lag. Yeah. But it's a good time. Now, a little bit about what you guys do. You're down in Will County. Obviously, I just exposed you as a state worker.
Well,
And-
she works for the health department.
Well, right.
Yeah.
She makes sure all the milk that you all drink is safe, right?
Really? What else do you do?
I inspect places. Yeah, food. Yeah, anything wholesale food-wise. Otherwise, we do a lot with the dairy program. So I test equipment. I do inspections. I sample.
Very important job.
Yeah, sure.
And I love it. You were telling me about they went to a restaurant. We won't say the name of the restaurant. And you were served a piece of moldy bread.
McDonald's.
No.
It was the opening of the restaurant, and I got some moldy bread, but no big deal. It's not going to kill you.
And interestingly, speaking of your tweeting, Patrick, you also tweeted that you made the decision that after this trip, you're going to start executing your exit strategy from Illinois. Is perhaps
Oh God, yes.
Is Playa del Carmen or Riviera Maya or Cancun possible destination for the Cotter family?
The weather would keep me here. If it's free drinks everywhere.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you purchased a trip and then you won the trip, so
And
you
I-
got your money back.
And I'm glad that you brought the median age of this group down by 25 years.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Spring is here. It's Amy Jacobson, and I suggest you add this to your spring cleaning. Throw out that old flat pillow and buy your very own new MyPillow. Not only will it keep its shape and adjust your ideal sleeping position, but you can wash and dry it whenever you want. And yes, the best MyPillow 4-pack deal is still available. Go online or call now to take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the MyPillow 4-pack deal with 2 premium MyPillows and my favorite, those 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. Start spring out right. No more headaches or stiff neck with your hypoallergenic Made in America MyPillow with its 10-year warranty plus that 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the MyPillow 4-pack today. Call 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Coming up after the top of the hour, we'll take your calls at 312-642-5600. And we're going to be joined by Roger Kimball, editor of the New Criterion and columnist for PJ Media. He says the McCabe report is just an appetizer. Let's go to Mike Scott in the newsroom.
An Illinois man wanted in connection to a deadly Tennessee shooting. Fox with the latest on that story. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
It's day 2 of a manhunt in Tennessee. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, searching for Travis Reinking, the suspected Waffle House killer.
He shot my buddy who was trying to run down the sidewalk, and then I dropped to the ground around my car, and then I could see from underneath my car he shot through the windows of the restaurant, and then he went inside and started shooting.
4 people were murdered, 4 others injured. Fox's Evan Brown has more live.
Yeah, Dave, police in Antioch, Tennessee say the number of deaths might have been greater if not for the acts of James Shaw Jr., a customer at the Waffle House who confronted Travis Reinking and wrestled away the AR-15.
I'm just a regular person.
Now, Shaw's been telling reporters he's not a hero.
And I think anybody could have did what I did.
Well, Shaw himself was injured by a bullet grazed to his hand. Reinking remains on the loose. Police believe he still has possession of 1 handgun, Dave.
And Evan, Nashville's Mayor David Briley is joining the call for stricter gun laws.
To address mass shootings, domestic shootings, accidental shootings, and homicides.
France's leader will meet with President Trump today and tomorrow when there will be a state dinner for President Emmanuel Macron, who's urging the U.S. not to back out of the Iran nuclear deal.
On nuclear, let's preserve this framework because it's better than a sort of North Korean type of situation.
President Trump has called that deal terrible. A Senate committee will vote today on CIA Director Mike Pompeo's nomination for Secretary of State, but Republican Rand Paul will join Democrats voting against him.
They have to decide that they want to put the safety and the security and the diplomacy of our country ahead of their own political games.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders, even if the committee does not recommend Pompeo, the full Senate will vote later, and he is expected to be confirmed. Southwest Airlines has canceled more than 100 flights today. We don't know how many are related to the emergency inspections ordered on some engines. Some 40 were grounded yesterday. This after last week's engine explosion that killed a passenger. Fox News, fair and balanced.
45 degrees, clouds and sun, winds northeast at 6. At 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Tennessee authorities say they're still hunting for that man. They say shot and killed 4 at a Waffle House in a Nashville suburb. Meantime, authorities here in the state of Illinois say the Waffle House shooter's father had the legal right to keep the weapons that Travis Reinking once surrendered to state police.
He was allowed to do that after he assured deputies that he would keep them secure and away from Travis.
Tazewell County Sheriff Robert Houston suggesting Reinking may have some serious mental health issues.
I think anybody who reads the police reports that we have here that I've given you copies of would conclude that there's certainly evidence that there's some sort of mental health issues involved.
In May of 2016, for instance, Tazewell County sheriffs say they were called to a CVS parking lot where Travis Reinking told officers Taylor Swift was stalking him and hacking his phone. 4 are dead, at least 21 injured after shootings in Chicago this past weekend, including Kenneth Stanley, a man killed on Saturday. Sunday morning, a 26-year-old was found with fatal gunshot wounds on the northwest side. There are two new candidates for mayor. Tech entrepreneur Neil Sales Griffin officially entered that race with a campaign announcement, and Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown made official her announcement on Sunday at the Hilton Chicago Hotel. Brown is dealing with a major federal investigation involving bribes for jobs schemes inside of her office. Things stayed peaceful Sunday when 2 groups of counter events were held at the Oakwood Cemetery in Chicago, centering on a monument to Civil War soldiers. One group at the Southside Graveyard, called Sons of Confederate Veterans, honored thousands who died at Camp Douglas in Chicago as prisoners of war. Another group, called Smash White Supremacy, protested the existence of a 30-foot tower on top of the Confederate monument. Well, if you can get a ticket, this might be the one graduation speech to go to this spring. Eureka College has announced that 1968 Olympic Games long jump champion Bob Beamon will give their school's commencement address next month. Cubs over the Rockies 9-7. White Sox fall to Houston 7-1. The news a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Let's see here. Fire protection?
Check.
Uniforms, mats, and restroom products?
Check.
First aid cabinets and safety products?
Check.
Great! So it sounds like we're ready to go.
No. When I said check, I meant we still need to check on all those things.
Oh, just call Cintas. They can handle all of it. It's what they do.
Okay. Call Cintas. Check. I mean, got it.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. If you're like most folks, this time of year, the credit card debt really starts to add up. Ryan was telling me about a loan that can help you get rid of the credit card debt.
Absolutely. It's a cash-out refinance, and it's one of the favorite loans that we do here at thehomeloanexpert.com. It's just as easy as a normal refinance. We'll get you the lower rate, drop the payment and all that, but we'll also get you the cash you need to pay off the credit card. Stop making those greedy credit card companies rich. Month after month, you make the payments, the balances don't come down. Maybe you get really good and you pay them down, but it seems like something pops up and they're right back up. It almost makes you scared to go to the mailbox. If you're a homeowner, know this. Home values all around Chicagoland are skyrocketing. You have a lot of equity. Your home is worth a lot more than it was just a year ago. Let's do a refinance, get the cash out, and pay off all those credit cards once and for all. I'm Ryan Kelly. I truly am the home loan expert. Apply for your cash out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
There's a lot going on with your mouth. It's how you communicate through speech and your smile. It's where you put food to fuel your body. It's how you show affection to your loved ones. The health of your mouth and teeth are so important, and dentistry for all ages in Elk Grove Village can help keep your mouth and teeth in excellent condition. When is the last time you had a dental checkup? It's suggested every 6 months. Dr. Leischner and Dr. Fernelli at Dentistry for All Ages focus on comprehensive consultations and most dental services. But start with an oral cancer screening using Velscope. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple process. And right now, you can get a free oral cancer screening with your dental cleaning and exam. Dentistry for All Ages is in Elk Grove Village, Suite 660, in the Eberly Building in Alexian Brothers Hospital, with a convenient indoor parking garage located on the first 4 floors. Call 847-439-2445 for an appointment, or go to dentistryforallage.com. Dentistryforallage.com.
It is 7:08. Let's get an update on what's happening on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-80 westbound traffic is jammed. LaGrange Road to Maple. 2 right lanes are blocked. Crash involving a tank truck on its side. Eastbound, it's stop and go from Parker Road to Maple. Edens is 30 minutes. Lake Cook Junction outbound 22. Kennedy. Now the lane started Cumberland 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. It's 28 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 17 minutes to Montrose, 53 to the airport. Mount Eisenhower, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown. 42 from Manheim. Outbound 41 to 390. Northbound I-55. A mess from 126 to Weber with a crash in the left lane. It's heavy again starting at Lamont Road. An hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 50 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 38 minutes to 355. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway stop and go 83 to the Tri-State. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Sun and some clouds for today with a high approaching 60. Tonight turning out to be partly cloudy with a low of 46. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and sun throughout the day tomorrow. High 56 and a partly cloudy night, low 41. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
45 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. Dan and Amy in Mexico. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. Our telephone number is 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Promise we're going to get to those calls post-haste. But first, we are pleased to be joined right now. Well, they lined up some luminaries for us.
I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite outlets.
Yeah. Roger Kimball is the editor of the New Criterion, and he is also a columnist for PJ Media. And we thank you for coming on the show this morning, Roger. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you guys.
So you've got a column out. The McCabe Report is just an appetizer, which and I love the tease there. I can't wait to get into the hors d'oeuvres right here. I read the column, and you mentioned Andy McCarthy, and we all love Andy McCarthy because he's the lawyer who knows everything. I mean, he was the former federal prosecutor who put away the blind shake, and he had a great column this weekend. I hate to introduce your column by talking about his column, but he did have one in which he says, "Hey, we're not keeping our eye on the ball here because we're talking about McCabe. He's lying all over the place. He even lies about his lies, but he says we've got to understand what he was lying about." And what he was lying about is that he was trying to protect himself because the Obama Justice Department officials wanted to kill the Clinton Foundation investigation because they wanted to become Clinton Justice Department officials. So we got to go back to all the Obama people who are corrupt.
Yes. No, it's, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, as Walter Scott said. But then somebody added a little codicil to that poem that said, but when we practice for a while, how vastly we improve our style. So this is an extraordinary, complicated skein of deception. I think it began actually with John Brennan, the former director of the CIA, who first got the FBI to open its investigation. But then we have James Clapper, the former director of national intelligence, who was the person who convinced James Comey to go and brief President-elect Trump and tell him about the Steele dossier, but only select details, only the details about the micturating Russian prostitutes, but he left out all the stuff about Michael Cohen and all the others. So it really is quite extraordinary. And one of the things that should really upset people, I think, is the spectacle of a double standard at play. Why is it that if you're just an ordinary Joe like you or me, and you mishandle classified information, you get prosecuted and put in jail? Whereas if you're Hillary Clinton or Andrew McCabe or James Comey, you can lie to the FBI, you can mishandle classified information. If you're James Comey, you can give it to your friend to give to the Wall Street Journal to start a special counsel investigation. I mean, it's breathtaking what is happening. I do think that we may finally be coming to the end of this charade, or at least as Winston Churchill once put it, if not the beginning of not the end of the beginning, but I forget exactly how it goes. But
just end it with 5 prepositions, Roger. Just end it with 5 prepositions.
something up with which we cannot put.
So, Roger, really, what you're describing, and I mean, I know you're being facetious, but you're really basically explaining there are 2 Americas, right? There are the people who never get charged, who can do anything they want, who are above reproach, and then there's the rest of us. But didn't Comey, in essence, I mean, what he admitted to is not just leaking, but he admitted to a felony, didn't he? I mean, why is there no outrage by Republican congressmen to really...
Well, I mean, there is some outrage, and I think Devin Nunes is doing a terrific job at ferreting out the truth and running these things down. He's been very patient and very effective. And again, it's I think we've had the hors d'oeuvre. Maybe we're well into the appetizer course, but we're not done yet. We got a long way to go before they
bring the
dessert.
Doesn't it expose to a certain extent that these bureaucracies, and that's what the FBI is showing itself to be, is that the upper echelon of these bureaucracies are nothing more than political sycophants with an agenda? You notice how they're all affiliated and attached to the Democrat Party, and if it's the FBI, you know full well it's all the other departments. So.
Well, it's even worse. It's even worse than you say, because of course, the first thing you will read when you when you cast your eyes over a report about the characters involved in this, and say the New York Times or it's reported on CNN, is that, James Comey is a Republican and this person is a Republican. Yeah. McCabe, I think, is a Republican. But that is actually the point, you see, because what we're talking about is an entrenched bureaucracy that involves not just Democrats, but Democrats and Republicans. It really is the administrative state, the deep state. The terrifying upshot of this whole process is that the FBI, at the highest levels anyway, believed that they had the authority to tell us who should be the president.
Right, and
that is an amazing fact.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they didn't believe that the people's choice was legitimate. Therefore, they were going to do everything in their power to prevent their choice from becoming president. And then after he was, amazingly enough, elected, to destroy him.
We're talking with Roger Kimball, editor of the New Criterion and columnist for PJ Media. Yeah, the chutzpah of and I think Churchill used that word often, chutzpah of James Comey, first of all, getting out in front when it was the prerogative of the Attorney General to tell us whether Hillary Clinton was going to be charged or not. But then he uses the polls to determine whether he is going to reopen the investigation. And it is all about protecting their own jobs. I mean, I'm not even sure Obama himself is culpable. He probably wanted to personally see Hillary go down. He probably doesn't even like her. But it's these bureaucrats deciding what to do in order. They're betting on the election. They probably do have animus towards Trump for political reasons, but basically they just want to protect themselves. And yeah, they're insulating themselves. It's just amazing.
Yes, it's an extraordinary moment in our history. I believe, actually, as I'm watching this whole process unfold, that this is the biggest political scandal in this nation's history, because it involves so many players at the top echelons of our government.
Roger,
There's people in the FBI, CIA, State Department.
Isn't it a real refusal to expose the real collusion? Because as what you see through this information is not only was the dossier political fodder, it was paid for by the DNC. They're not really following where the collusion is. I was optimistic in showing, okay, once they investigate this, they'll see the real collusion with Russia, with China, was through the Democrat Party. But in fact, they're avoiding that topic, and they're trying to pin it on an innocent, the innocent Trump, is the way it looks to me.
Yeah, it's what Freud called projection. He may not have been right about in his psychology, but you can really see it here. I mean, it's everything that the left, or let's put it this way, that the anti-Trump juggernaut has accused the president of, actually turns out to be things that they have done. I mean, you mentioned how amazing is it that you have this dossier composed of what? Of a hearsay and gossip coming from
Sidney Blumenthal
Russian entities close to the Kremlin, that paid for by the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee, and that is said to be the sole warrant for opening these FISA investigations, spying on Americans and spying on a rival candidate. It is extraordinary.
Roger, the thing I love, my phrase is everybody loves something about Trump and hates himself for it. The thing I love most about Trump is how much he has brought bubbling to the surface what you're calling the deep state. I mean, we never would have known about any of this stuff has Trump not get elected. And remember, Buckley wrote McCarthy and his enemies, and as bad as McCarthy was, his enemies were worse. And you see what the enemies will do, what they'll resort to, how they're hallucinating about Russian collusion, and how corrupt they are. Because now you've got McCabe, who's going to be prosecuted. It is delicious, and I don't care. You know, Kevin Williamson. I know him, and I know Jonah Goldberg, and all these people. Yeah. Come on, the Schadenfreude is fantastic.
Yes. Well, I like both of those gents. They're both very talented. We disagree about the merits of the president, but it is an extraordinary moment we're living through, and people should be taking notes and remember how this whole thing has unfolded. What began as an investigation into Russian collusion has now gone way beyond that. You don't hear about that really much anymore, because now, I mean, the idea that Robert Mueller should be raiding the offices of the president's personal attorney because of Stormy Daniels. I mean, give me a break.
There we go.
It's ridiculous.
Roger Kimball, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Roger Kimball, editor of the New Criterion and columnist for PJ Media. We'll be back with your calls at 312-642-5600.
Should learn the number. You should
really learn that 5991 Rock, 591 Roll. No. 312-642-5600. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
He's pointing at me saying traffic. I do the weather, Bruce.
I'm sorry.
The weather. I mean, you screwed up the interview. You're going to screw up my weather report.
I don't like to commingle traffic and weather.
Sunny,
you're right.
partly cloudy, high of 60. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 45. Tomorrow, it's going to be the same kind of nonsense until you just can't take it anymore. And on Friday, it's only going to be 53. Telemonte. Now, as rush hour gets thicker, right, the moms in the minivans trying to get their kids to school on time, screwing up everything. Tell us where.
Well, we got a rollover tank truck, Sean. So this is I-80. It's a complete mess westbound. Delays from 80th Avenue to Maple. That's where this crash is. 2 right lanes are blocked. Tank truck's on its side in the ditch. Eastbound, there's a Gapers delay from Parker to Maple. Eden's inbound. Latest start around Devon. It's 27 minutes. Lake Cook Junction, outbound 25. Kennedy, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 53. The Eisenhower's an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to downtown. 40 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 46 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Big jam farther south with the northbound crash at Weber in the left lane. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State Heavy Chicago Road past the Thornton Quarry. There's a crash there in the left lane. Then from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The Reagan Tollway has delays, 83 to the Tri-State. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey everyone, Ken here from the award-winning company Income Store. If you were lost and scared in a forest, would you rather have a guide map or a guide standing next to you? Both will lead you out of the forest, one's just a bit more expeditious. When it comes to making more money, have you ever felt lost? Does it drive you a little batty when you know there's people out there, teenagers even, that are adding a different revenue stream, even in different industries, each and every year of their lives? Don't you know deep down there has to be a path out of what we call the financial forest? You know it's there, you just haven't found it yet. For almost a decade now, Income Store has provided guide maps to the do-it-yourselfers, the folks that have considerably more time than money, but they've also been the trusted guide to those with more money than time. If you're ready to stop bouncing around this thing we call the financial forest and serious about adding a second, third, or even fourth revenue model to your home or business, then you have to check out the 5-timing 5000 Income Store. That's incomestore.com.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I want to answer some frequently asked home mortgage questions today. First, how much do I need for a down payment? There are 1% down payment programs currently running, as well as programs that will allow you to get the entire down payment as a gift. We also have programs where a family member can co-sign for the mortgage in order to help the borrower qualify. Do I need perfect credit to qualify for a loan? The answer is no. All these programs have restrictions, so please give me a call at 312-896-2110 and I'll be happy to go over them. Another question is, can I take cash out of my house to pay off high-interest credit card debt? The answer is yes, but you need to have enough equity in your house to make it happen. Why Townstone instead of the big banks? Because since 2002, we pride ourselves on beating the big banks on closing costs and interest rates every day. Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call 312-896-2110 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage license C 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560. The Answer.
Now you're talking, baby.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Let's take your calls now. 312-642-5600. Let's go to Verlon. Hi, Verlon.
You better say it right.
How you doing, Bruce?
Good.
Hey, Sean.
What's up?
Let me take your lightweight for you. Bruce, get off of Sean's back, okay? Sean's no racist. Let me tell you something. I don't never have to drink out of a special cup or sit in a special seat when I patronize his business, okay? And when I first met Sean, I thought he was going to rip me over the coals, but you know what he did? He gave me a hug. Sean is the salt of the earth, all right?
Verlon, let's role play here. I'm a Starbucks barista, and I would not ever qualify for it because
next words out of my mouth.
I can't make a cup of coffee. But you come in and you don't want to buy anything and you want to go to the bathroom. Should I call the police on you or am I unconsciously racist? You tell me.
No. Let me say this. Black people, when you go into a business, whether it's Starbucks or anything else, please just buy something so you can keep down the guff. Everybody's not going to be as nice as Sean and give you a free first cigar, okay? Just buy something. Buy the cheapest thing there. Get in line. Act like you're buying something. Just buy something, please.
See, that's why I love
Has Verlon come to your cigar shop?
many times. And
There we
you know
go.
what?
Okay. Thank you, Verlon.
Ixnay on the
Appreciate
free
call.
cigars. Next thing you know, I get a bunch of freeloaders over there. What I do give away, Bruce, is some of the best coffee you've ever had, because I actually make the best coffee. As you know, I'm a coffee junkie. And, you know, throughout the years, my grandmother used to have the little pot you stuck on the stove. I mean, that's how long.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When we had coffee
Before
as kids.
K-Cups.
When I was
Yes.
a kid, we used to dunk our toast in the coffee. I had diapers on, for God's sakes. Back then, I
see a little diapered Sean, 18 months old, walking
Don't
around
let
with a
your
cigar in his
fantasies
mouth
run away with
and making his own coffee. Boy.
So when you come to my cigar store, if I like you,
Mhm.
I give you a free cup of coffee, and then I help you. I school you in the
And you're not-
fine arts of tobacco, and and we have a conversation. You've been there,
Yes.
and you hated every minute of it.
I
right? 'Cause you had
enjoyed
you were
being there. I
surrounded-
was a little bit upset when your Marine friend, Lou, I believe his name
Yeah,
is.
pointed out
Is
how
he still
how-
okay?
Yeah, Lou's alive.
Lou's alive. He pointed out because he had been shot 3 times in Vietnam.
Yeah,
Okay,
three
3
different times. Yeah,
3
apparently-
times.
yeah, the only
He
guy
kept
with the
it-
orange
And he
on.
pointed out to me that only 66 Jews died in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I, so I was like, uh-oh. But we wound up being friends at the end of the thing.
Sure
and
you
he's
did.
doing okay?
Yeah, he's
All
doing
right.
wonderful.
And I
He
felt
asked
guilty because my draft number was 334, and I didn't go anywhere.
Didn't
except
stand a
to
chance.
class at Northwestern. And Lou was fighting the good fight for me. So
Well,
I
the
feel
good news
guilty.
is your feet are okay, and you didn't need any deferments.
I'm not President Trump. That's for sure. All right, coming up.
You got a caller. Do we have
we
time?
got to do
I
it.
love
Oh,
Ralph.
we don't have to. Can we take? We can take Ralphie Baby. Okay, we're going to take
Love
Ralphie Baby. Let's go to Ralphie Baby. Hi, Ralph from Rantoul. How are you?
Good to
Ralph.
hear your voice, Bruce. And, my dad got blown up in World War II. He said getting blown up was highly overrated. He didn't really enjoy it too much. But, hey, I'm breaking out when I go to Starbucks today. I'm breaking out my bean hat. I've got like a waxed cotton hat, so I'm going to wear the bean hat. And I used to go outside to cut my toenails. No more. I'm handing out safety glasses. I'm doing it inside.
No, and
everyone welcome.
No. This is going to be. You know what my new rebranding for Starbucks is? I'm calling it Homeless Depot. What do you think of that, Ralph?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, and I think it'll be not too long before they put those blue lights in the restrooms so they can't see their veins and shoot up.
Thank you, Ralph. Yeah,
Another benefit to the open policy.
Look, hoisted by their own petard. Howard Schultz, the CEO, a liberal. You're going to get your justice.
But I'm telling you, a lot of people hold stock. When he makes these decisions and the stock goes down, it doesn't help the economy. It doesn't help pension funds. It hurts him. It's an important decision, and he should be removed as CEO. Another thing is, I met Ralph from Rantoul. Him and Herman Cain single-handedly bringing back double-breasted suits. I love it.
All right, we'll take more of your calls at 312-642-5600, and let's go to the news right now with Mike Scott.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 45 degrees, and we're watching developments in Nashville this morning where there is a manhunt on for a shooter. Nashville's mayor demanding comprehensive gun reform, he says, to address mass shootings and domestic shootings and accidental shootings. Mayor David Brilley, who's in that post temporarily, made that plea hours after a 29-year-old Illinois man used an assault-style rifle to kill 4 and wound 4 others at a Waffle House in a Nashville suburb. Police in this state revoked Travis Reinking's state firearms owner identification card at the request of the FBI, and 4 guns were taken from the man. Deputies, according to the Tazewell County Sheriff, did allow Reinking's father to take possession of those guns.
He was allowed to do that after he assured deputies that he would keep them secure and away from Travis.
Sheriff Robert Houston also suggests Reinking may have had mental health problems. A manhunt is underway for the individuals who shot an off-duty suburban police officer. Dalton Police Detective Darrell Hope was ambushed by 2 in an apparent robbery attempt on South Calumet Avenue in the Chatham section of Chicago just after midnight. Hope was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center in serious condition, but has since been upgraded to good condition. One of the suspects in the beating of a mentally disabled Chicago teen that was broadcast on Facebook Live is being ordered to serve 3 years in prison. Tanisha Covington received her sentence in Cook County Circuit Court. Among the 3 other defendants, one has been sentenced to probation. 2 others are awaiting trial. Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin is apologizing for artwork at the city's public library that some say is insulting to Muslims. The poem, titled Hijab Means Jihad, was removed over the weekend. According to library officials, the artist, George Miller, says it was artistic satire. Cubs over the Rockies 9-7. Houston clobbered the White Sox 7-1. Sox on a 7-game slide right now. Bears making final preparations ahead of the NFL Draft this week in Dallas. The news is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:33. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Visit ndrnow.com. That's ndrnow.com. Go now to ndrnow.com. ndrnow.com.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
In real life, beauty is about feeling good, knowing that you look good. At CVS Pharmacy, feel good knowing that when you spend $30 on select beauty brands, you'll get a $10 CVS cash card to spend in store. We've got the latest obsessions in cosmetics, skincare, and hair care waiting just for you. That's beauty in real life, only at CVS Pharmacy. Offer valid through April 28th. Restrictions apply. See circular or cvs.com/weekly ad for more details in store or online.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4-BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4-BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4-BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on that ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. We see major delays on westbound I-80 from Harlem to Maple, where 2 right lanes are blocked. Crash involving a rollover tank truck. Eastbound, it's heavy 355 to Maple. Edens, it's 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. Kennedy, 58 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 56. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes. 390 to the Circle. Outbound 46 minutes. Northbound I-55 has big delays from Lockport Road to Weber with a crash in the left lane. Then it's an hour from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State jammed from 8094 past the Thornton Quarry after a crash. And it's slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan to North Avenue. Traffic service of Staples. Staples has low prices, huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now get the HP LaserJet Pro M203DW for just $129.99. This week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last. Valid on SKU 2444436, ends 428. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunny to partly cloudy today, high near 60. Partly cloudy and 45 overnight. Clouds and sun tomorrow, a high near 58. Currently, we have 44 degrees. Your next news update is at 8. And with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Sean, I'm reading a tweet from Theresa May, who I believe is the Prime Minister of Great Britain. My warmest congratulations to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on the birth of their baby boy. I wish them great happiness for the future. Is that what Theresa May says?
I don't know.
Like?
I can't. You know what?
Yeah.
I never liked this whole thing with how people love this royal family and all this nonsense. Do you realize what we fought off? Now we celebrate these kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Please, the monarchies make me sick.
What do you think of the babies? I don't even know their names. I don't watch The Crown. I don't watch
like
that.
Pritzker. He's an instant millionaire who's a billionaire who's an expert on everything.
See, the problem is that we really need royalty.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure
we need a king and queen because otherwise we make the president the king and queen. And this is why I love Trump, because he's such an everyman. He is our apprentice. He wooka for me. I don't know wooka for him. and we can fire him like he fired people on The Apprentice. And he's just an everyman, a guy who tweets. Also happens to be able to drop the bomb on North Korea, but leaving that aside. Yeah. Our telephone number is 312-642-5600, 312-64.
And you know what else?
Speaking of royalty, you go ahead.
About these royals that annoys me, I don't watch a lot of TV. You know, before I bought the cigar store, I never watched TV. So we start, by the cigar store, I watch TV, and the guy tells me, have you ever seen this show Suits?
Oh, okay.
And I just asked you, and you've never had.
No.
It's fantastic. It's like a modern-day Mad Men.
Oh, okay.
It's great. You'd love it.
All right.
Doesn't this royal family ruin Suits? He marries the girl that's on it. You know, just
Oh, okay. There
can't
you go.
stand the royals.
Like I say, I don't even
Red
watch The
coats.
Crown. Speaking of royalty, Barbara Bush laid to rest this week. And I believe it was at the Bush Library in Houston. That's George the First's.
What do you mean
Speaking
at the
of our
library?
royalty.
They put her in there like Lennon? She just in a casket there? What
Or
happened?
like Jane Austen at Westminster Abbey. So I have been, just last summer, don't ask me why, I went with my best friend to Dallas for a weekend to see 2 White Sox games. I almost died of dehydration. Thanks God for a $5 slushie I bought because it was horrible. But we went to the Bush Library, Bush II in Dallas. It sucked. Yeah, let me tell you why.
Yeah,
It was-
a W library. What's it got, like a shelf of books in there?
Tell me. First of all, you can't go into the archives. You know, that's the whole idea behind going to a library. They have some china that he got from the King of Siam. There's videos
Do
of
they have
Bush.
a TARP section? And here is the TARP wing of the George W. Bush Library, where Goldman Sachs has ingrained itself in the future of our country for eternity.
I mean, if they had the bullhorn he used, next to the
That's big
Twin
stuff.
Towers, that they didn't even have that. And when we're checking out and you buy the tchotchkes and everything, it's talking about books. On the bookshelf for sale is the Brothers Karamazov. Now, why would you have a Dostoevsky novel on the shelf of the...
I think TARP answers the question.
Well, right, because there's the guy who was in cahoots with
There
Putin.
you go.
But to me, it was like, shouldn't they have had the Cliff Notes
And you know what's
to the
funny,
Brothers
Bruce?
Karamazov? Because that's probably what George Bush read, if anything.
I hear a lot of establishment Republicans, like they long for the days of W. Bush, quietly. Wasn't it nice when we had decorum? And he opens his mouth for the first time since he left office last week, where he talks about how we really should be involved in nation building. Everything wrong with his entire presidency and American policy. And here comes Dumbo. He's gonna reinvent it. And that tells you what a Bush is, which is why these Bushes aren't done with us. Jeb is already.
We're done with them, Sean.
No,
They're
there's
never
going to be
get
Jeb's
elected.
son. Beware the other Bush.
No. These dynasties are over.
Poppycock.
I like to say poppycopic. That's a registered
Not to
trademark.
mention, what about the human puggle, Chelsea Clinton? She's around the corner rearing her head as well, that gargoyle that she is.
Isn't it amazing? We laugh at the Brits, but we have our dynasties. I'd rather
at least theirs are inbred.
How about Malia and Sasha, them taking over? Or are they Kate and Ashley, the twins? I forget their names, the Obama kids. But, from one generation to the next. It must be in their blood.
I
But
just
finally,
hope we don't get another Trump.
You'd think we'd learn after seeing Chappaquiddick, the movie, which I did not see, but I read about it. Sounds like it's fantastic. Because even though it humanizes Teddy, it's, it shows how guilty he was. And yet we covered that up.
You needed the movie to tell you that? Did you need the movie?
The liberals need it.
What a
liberal lion.
First of all,
they
what a
needed
disgrace this guy was. And how about at the end? Forget about, Chappaquiddick, he got away with it because it was the 60s and you could do anything.
Right.
His old man was still alive, right? And he owned politicians like Don Corleone, like little nuts in his pocket.
Yeah.
It was after that when him and his nephew, when they basically were
the
accused
Chicago girl
of rape of the waitress.
Remember
the old waitress.
They masked her with a blue dot in the
kind of
trial on TV.
despicable.
It's amazing the double standard, or how we retroactively are going to convict the Kennedys now that we've benefited from all their liberal largesse over the years. That's why I like Trump. Another reason, because he's a make good. He's a make good for the Kennedys, for Clinton. Did you see the picture at the funeral of Barbara Bush? They had Clinton and Hillary and the Obamas and the Bushes and all that.
Looked like a Lane Bryant ad.
And everybody is saying, oh, look how people can get along and they're wonderful and civilized, as opposed to Donald Trump, who doesn't belong there because he's such a ruffian. Bill Clinton's in that picture, and you're trying to tell me that that's civilized?
Which is funny. It's why they have no credibility anymore. And the sad part is, as you pan back and you look at this, who's the only other guy that would have beat Pritzker but Rabbit-Faced Kennedy? Instead, completely unqualified. He has nothing but the name. If he wasn't a Kennedy, he's not smart enough to be renting me a car at a Hertz kiosk at O'Hare. Yet, let alone, all you have is that name and your royalty, American royalty.
I can't wait till Illinois goes totally down the toilet with J.B. Pritzker. It's going to be beautiful.
All you need now is that tidy bowl hat, and it's already circling the bowl here.
I mean the bowl that he broke in order to avoid the taxes, right?
I want you to think about what the future holds for Illinois. In either case, whether it's 7 foot of stupid, right, or Lou Costello. We are in store for massive tax increases because that's the only answer any of them.
Well, only you, because you're the rich real estate guy.
No,
it's going to be a progressive income tax.
Here's the other thing. It's funny, but all of the people that used to make money in Illinois, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, the people who want to preserve that are already leaving, have left, or planning to leave. You're not getting any new people here. And I laugh every time I hear these guys who have like an inside guy in the Democrat Party. Amazon's coming here. Well, first off, if they do, which they never will, it will be right up until the subsidies run out. Because that's one thing, the precedent that Illinois has shown you for a decade, if not more, is the only way new businesses come here is when we pay them to. In the form
we
of
could put Amazon in the
taxes.
Lucas Museum right on the lakefront. All right, coming up after the break, Dan with, I believe, a blood alcohol level north of point.
Don't slander my guy now. It's morning. And he's not drinking. He's just stinking up the golf course.
And Amy from Mexico. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Why do I have to put on a swimsuit? Nobody else has a swimsuit on.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Now today, sunny, which, it's not going to be sunny all day. Whenever they say sunny in Illinois, they mean kind of sunny. Partly cloudy with a high of 60. Tonight, down to 45. You're going to catch pneumonia. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun, which means pretty much same thing as today, only not as warm, 58. Then Friday, it's going to get down to 53. Telemonte's garden is going to be destroyed, but he's going to tell you where not to drive. Here he is, Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Bruce. I-80 westbound is where not to go. It's a mess. Harlem to Maple. 2 right lanes are blocked. Crash involving a rollover tank truck. Eastbound, there's a gate burst delay. 355 to Maple. Westbound 8094, it's slow. Burnham up the northbound tri-state to past the Thornton Quarry. Crash just got cleared out of the way. Farther north, the tri-state is stop and go. From Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway slow going 83 to the tri-state, northbound Veterans Memorial. 75th to the Reagan Tollway, the Army Trail toll to 290. Eden's 27 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, heavier in the express. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year, which means you've got more money to spend on what's important to you. Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more money you'll be bringing home, go to taxcutswork.com. There's an easy-to-use calculator that tells you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year and next. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com. And then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. The Tax Cuts Work Tour is coming to the Fauna International at 1900 Averill Road in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Meet small business owners, elected officials, and the folks from Job Creators Network to hear how the tax cuts are working and share your story too. That's Fauna International in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Learn more at taxcutswork.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Tom Goleb, Chief Financial Officer of Navitas Systems, a leader in the next generation of advanced battery technology and a customer of Signature Bank. A few years ago, I heard Signature Bank on an AM 560 radio ad just as our previous commercial bank was being acquired. I knew Mick O'Rourke and Kevin Bastuga from a prior enterprise. I valued my relationship with them and the way they worked earned my trust and my business. So I decided to give Signature Bank a call. They took the time to understand our early stage technology company that has its own set of challenges. Signature Bank took care of us, and now we are satisfied customers.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, I know serving those who serve our country is really important to you. You're always looking for ways to help our troops. Tell our listeners about your new program, Hero Loan for Military Families.
This is one that we're really proud of. And we've done VA loans since the beginning of time. And the problem is when you're waiting on the VA, and I'm not trash talking them or anything along those lines, but you are just what I said, you're waiting. And I think the average turn time to get a VA loan closed with most lenders is 60 to 90 days. And we thought that was ridiculous. So 2 years ago, I started the application with the VA, and I just received the highest delegation that they can bestow on a lender, meaning I can now process, underwrite, close, and fund all VA loans in-house. What does that mean for the veterans and the service members and their families? I close VA loans in 14 days, and I even pay for the appraisal. If you're looking for a VA loan, apply online today at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
There's a lot going on with your mouth. It's how you communicate through speech and your smile. It's where you put food to fuel your body. It's how you show affection to your loved ones. The health of your mouth and teeth are so important, and dentistry for all ages in Elk Grove Village can help keep your mouth and teeth in excellent condition. When is the last time you had a dental checkup? It's suggested every 6 months. Dr. Leischner and Dr. Fernelli at Dentistry for All Ages focus on comprehensive consultations and most dental services. But start with an oral cancer screening using Velscope. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple process. And right now, you can get a free oral cancer screening with your dental cleaning and exam. Dentistry for All Ages is in Elk Grove Village, Suite 660, in the Eberly Building in Alexian Brothers Hospital, with a convenient indoor parking garage located on the first 4 floors. Call 847-439-2445 for an appointment, or go to dentistryforallage.com. Dentistryforallage.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hi. Hola. Buenos dias.
Hola. Me llamo Dan.
Me
¿Cómo
llamo-
te llamo?
Me llamo Amy. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Así.
Perfecto.
Thank you.
Thank you. Secrets Maroma Beach. That is where we're at this year's
Passport to Paradise. You're good with the Spanish, the English, a little bit of a challenge.
Words are hard.
Presented by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, OPM Tax Resolution, the offices of Stephen Leahy, and we managed to secure an interview with the principal of one Arlington Heights
exciting.
Heating and Cooling.
It's my favorite.
He's Garrett, and like Cher, he just has one name. That's how
Garrett.
big you are in the industry. Garrett, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And you've been coming on this trip for years and years and years, since back when AM 560 was a Spanish station. Is that not right?
Close, but I don't know exact date. Yes, I have been coming since.
So give us a little compare and contrast. How do you like how do you like this versus Punta Cana last year, where we were together? And
Or Los Cabos.
Or Los Cabos.
I like them all. Everyone has been great. I mean, it's good company, good people. The places are great. I got a cigar and a glass of bourbon here. I'm happy.
Cigar, glass of bourbon,
really all
good
you
weather.
need.
That's all you need.
So I've been doing some investigative work about furnaces and air conditioning units. No. Well, when I was in St. Croix, my dive master, in the wintertime, he installs heating and cooling systems. And he told me that there's new regulations on Freon that are coming down the pipe that are going to be really hard on the heating and cooling business. Do you know about those?
Yes, I do. They're not new. They've been around for a while. It's Montreal Protocol. Came out years ago. Everybody had to get certified. They're going to quit making a refrigerant called R22. They're going to quit making it in the year 2020. It's not illegal to use. You can take it from one unit and put it back in the same unit. They're just going to quit production in the United States, so they're just going to use whatever was recovered and recycled. Or basically, I'm sorry, not recycled, recovered. We're supposed to recover it, send it in, they make sure it's clean, and then you can use it.
But that cost goes on to the consumers.
The costs just keep going up and up. The closer we get to that date, it probably went up in the last 10 years at least 300%, if not more.
So we should, if we're thinking about getting a new air conditioning unit, we should do it now?
If you're having trouble with your unit, if it leaks at all and it's an old unit and it has R22, you're better off replacing it than use a new refrigerant. In the long run, you're going to be much better off.
Is there anybody you can recommend for that?
I know a place in Elk Grove Village called Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. All you have to do...
I've heard they're very good.
What's the number?
847-545-1700.
Now, before we let you go, I want to make sure, Amy, have all of your dive masters questions about HVAC been answered by Garrett?
Yes. It was so random, but that's how everything is.
So, Garrett, give us a little bit of perspective. Family business. It's unfortunately located in Illinois, but how's business despite that fact?
It's harder because it's located in Illinois, but business has been good. I mean, we do a variety. We do new construction, we do replacement, we do commercial. It's been good. It's been good. This year's looks good so far.
All right. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's Garrett from Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. Garrett, thanks.
Thank you.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Building owners and managers, Now is the perfect time of year for a service and maintenance agreement with Waukegan Roofing. Since 1914, Waukegan Roofing has been installing and maintaining roofs you can rely on for all of Chicagoland. Our experienced team of professional service technicians is the right solution for preserving the integrity of your new or existing roofing system for years to come. With your dedicated service technician and our multi-point inspection program, we cover all areas of your roof from early detection to preventative maintenance to repairs and everything in between. We're the licensed commercial roofing contractor you can rely on for all your roofing needs. Building owners and managers, now is the time to prepare your low-slope commercial roof for everything that Mother Nature throws at it this year. Call Waukegan Roofing today for your service and maintenance appointment at 877-ROOF-201. That's 877-ROOF-201. Or visit us online at waukeganroofing.com. Waukegan Roofing, installing roofs you can rely on since 1914.
Illinois licensee 104000761. The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
At Joe Cotton Ford, we're making it fun and easy for you to buy your next new vehicle. It's all because of the Joe Cotton Ford promise. No one treats you better, and no one works harder to save you money. For 44 years, we've been treating our customers like family. We're here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs and budget. And talk about prices, right now lease the exciting 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150 STX 4x4 Crew Cab for just $299 per month for 24 months. Come see why we're Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience and why Ford is America's best-selling brand. We'll show you all of the Joe Cotton Ford exclusives that make a Ford from Joe Cotton a better value, like 2 years free maintenance and rental car coverage. It's our promise to you we'll treat you great and save you money. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. At Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com.
To qualified buyers, 24-month FMCC red carpet low mileage lease, $29.95 down plus taxes and fees. First month's payment due at delivery. See dealer for details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up after the news, is North Korea really going to denuclearize? I don't think
Not
so.
a chance.
We'll talk to Bill Gertz, senior editor for the Washington Free Beacon, about that. Now, let's go into the News Lounge.
4 dead in weekend gun violence in Chicago. A driver involved in a Navy pier incident has passed away, and the Cubs hold off the Rockies. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Where did he run? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Still no sign of the shooter, who was nearly naked when he opened fire at a Tennessee Waffle House, murdering 4 people, injuring 4.
No credible sighting of 29-year-old Travis Ryan King overnight. So as you can imagine, people understandably waking up concerned, some even scared. We've got local schools on lockout this morning, police lining the streets up and down this area.
Elizabeth Armstrong with Fox 17 TV in Antioch.
The Secret Service actually took him into custody after he entered a restricted area trying to see President Trump. A sheriff's department in Illinois also revoked his firearms authorization. His guns were seized and ultimately released to his father. One of those guns used in this shooting behind me here.
Now, a man inside the restaurant stopped the rampage, wrestling the gun away. Then the shooter fled.
If it was going to come down to it, he was going to have to work to kill me.
But James Shaw Jr. claims he's no hero. France's president is in Washington for 2 days of meetings with President Trump. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The state visit is expected to be dominated by differences on the Iran nuclear deal. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders expects it to be productive.
This is our country's oldest ally, and they've been a great partner. The president and President Macron have had a great relationship since the very beginning.
President Macron will try to persuade President Trump to remain in the 2015 Iranian nuclear deal. President and Mrs. Trump will host President and Mrs. Macron for a private dinner this evening at Mount Vernon. Dave?
John, it's a boy. A royal baby just born. Fox's Simon Owen live in London.
Dave, Prince William and wife Kate welcoming their third child, a brother for 4-year-old Prince George and 2-year-old Princess Charlotte. The announcement from Kensington Palace reads, the Duchess of Cambridge was safely delivered of a son weighing 8 pounds and 7 ounces. The baby is the 5th in line to the throne. Dave?
This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
44 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Tennessee authorities continue hunting for the Illinois man. They say shot and killed 4 at a Waffle House in a Nashville suburb. 29-year-old Travis Reinking, who used to live in Morton in Tazewell County, apparently opened fire at that restaurant early yesterday morning. State police in Illinois revoked his state firearms owner identification card at the request of the FBI after an incident near the White House, and 4 guns were taken away. Deputies allowed Reinking's father to take possession of those guns.
He was allowed to do that after he assured deputies that he would keep them secure and away from Travis.
Tazewell County Sheriff Robert Houston suggests his rap sheet suggests Reinking may have mental health problems. 4 are dead, 21 others injured after shootings in Chicago over the weekend. There's a manhunt underway this morning for the individuals who shot an off-duty suburban officer. Dalton Police Detective Darrell Hope was reportedly ambushed by 2 people in an apparent robbery attempt on South Calumet Avenue in the Chatham neighborhood of Chicago just after midnight. Chicago sports, Cubs edge the Rockies in Denver 9-7, while the White Sox were clobbered by Houston 7-1. The Bears are making final preparations just ahead of this week's NFL draft in Dallas. The news service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, spend $50 or more on print and marketing services and get $5 off your next in-store purchase. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only on N623. Exclusions apply at Staples. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Hasbro is blaming the liquidation of Toys R Us for its disappointing quarter, including expenses associated with Toys R Us. It actually lost money. Smith's Superstores, a chain in Ireland and Britain, is buying some European Toys R Us stores. The locations in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland will be converted to Smith's Toy Stores. A Toronto investment firm is in a strong position to buy the 82 Toys R Us stores in Canada. Fairfax Financial Holdings topped an offer from Canada toy executive Isaac Larian, whose MGA Entertainment makes the Bratz dolls. UBS, the Swiss bank, reported mixed earnings, and Halliburton, the oilfield services company, made money in the recent quarter after losing money a year ago. The Dow closed down 201 on Friday. NASDAQ dropped 91. S&P lost 22. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder explains who is delivering your news.
Jake Tapper used to be the press secretary for a Democrat. Chuck Todd also worked for a Democrat, congressional Democrat. There he is.
Meet the press. News anchor.
There he is, Jake Tapper, CNN.
The lead. News anchor.
There is George Stephanopoulos, former top advisor to Bill Clinton.
Chief news anchor, ABC News.
It is a joke.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready. Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
.806 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-80 westbound traffic is jammed. 80th Avenue to Maple, where 2 right lanes are blocked. Rollover tank truck eastbound delays. 355 to Maple. 8094 westbound at Stop and Go to the state line up the northbound Tri-State past Thornton Quarry, where crash is now out of the way. Farther north, Tri-State is Stop and Go. The Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The Reagan Tollway slow 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, 75th to the Reagan Tollway, and Roosevelt to 290. Eden, it's 21 minutes Lake Cook Junction, now about 27. Kennedy, 53 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 36 from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Now about 24 minutes to Montrose, 46 to O'Hare. Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes, 390 to downtown. 35 minutes from Manheim. How about 48, 390. On I-55, jammed Brentwick to Weber after a crash, and it's an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. How about 42 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny to partly cloudy, high 59. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 46. Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 56. And a partly cloudy night, low 41. Wednesday, clouds and sun, high getting up to 52. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare, 44 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. With Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. We'll hear from them later this hour. Dan, with a blood alcohol level, what would you guess it is?
I'm guessing he'd get pulled over on a scooter. I would say that's pretty safe.
Maybe that explains his bad golf score the other day.
But you know why I love doing the show with you during the week?
Yes.
Not because you just make me feel very masculine.
Sure.
But because we get to interview great people.
Oh, we certainly do.
Yeah, I'm serious about this. I love this. This is a guy who I really like.
What a nice segue here. Bill Gertz is the senior editor for the Washington Free Beacon and the author of the new book, War and Peace in the Information Age. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Hi, good to be on the program.
So yesterday, or over the weekend some point, because I
one of these days, when you're retired, Bill, all the days blend together like Bruce.
Totally for me. Well, President Trump, in a blitz over the weekend while he was tweeting, said, "Sleepy eyes Chuck Todd of fake news NBC just stated that we have given up so much in our negotiations with North Korea, and they have given up nothing. Wow, we haven't given up anything, and they have agreed to denuclearization, so great for the world, site closure, and no more testing." I didn't know that had happened, Bill. Could you explain?
Yeah, North Korea announced over the weekend that they were going to shut down their nuclear test site and halt missile tests. But if you read the fine print on this statement out of Pyongyang, it was basically saying it's time for the world to accept us as a nuclear power. That's not going to happen under Trump's view, because Trump is going there to seek denuclearization. So what's going to happen, we're going to have a summit meeting between Moon Jae-in, the South Korean president, and Kim Jong-un this week, and that's supposed to set the stage for a later meeting between Trump and Kim Jong-un himself. So it's shaping up to be a very interesting talk. As Senator Bob Corker said over the weekend, he doesn't think North Korea is going to give up their nuclear weapons because they're the only thing keeping that regime in power.
Well, and of course, they've learned the lessons of history. We get rid of Gaddafi after he gets rid of his all of his weapons, so we can't do anything like that. Would we have to give up our nuclear shield in that area in exchange for denuclearization? And of course, we're not going to do that kind of thing.
No, in fact, under the Pentagon's nuclear posture review, we're kind of beefing up our nuclear posture with some new cruise missiles, nuclear-armed cruise missiles, and some submarine-launched, possibly ship or submarine-launched medium-range nuclear missiles. I think, this is going to be shaping up as to be a real test of Trump's ability to keep this maximum pressure. Big problem, of course, is China. The Chinas have been playing a double game on North Korea, saying publicly that they want to denuclearize, but secretly helping North Korea get its trade and other goods in order to maintain that regime in North Korea.
Now, Bill, I remember way back in '94 when Monica Lewinsky was a sophomore in high school, Bill Clinton came out with the curved finger and the salt and pepper hair and told me we had a deal that was going to be fantastic. Isn't this just the same song, different suit? It's always the same. Doesn't it actually pay to be a crackpot dictator villain from James Bond? Don't we just throw money and nonsense at this guy until he's quiet for 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, I agree with you. I covered the agreed framework of 1994, which was declared as peace in our time that was going to end the North Korean nuclear threat. And in fact, it was a ruse by the North Koreans just to buy time to build up their nuclear forces. So I'm very skeptical that anything solid is going to come out of this summitry. But on the other hand, hey, it's worth a shot to give it a chance to have some talks.
We're talking with Bill Gertz, a senior editor for the Washington Free Beacon and author of the new book, I War, War and Peace in the Information Age. So yesterday, I was doing my homework and actually watched Newt Gingrich on the Chris Wallace show. So Newt says, hey, Reagan walked away from Reykjavik, and then Gorbachev caved. And you were just referring to the China really, going around us, doing the end run with helping North Korea stay afloat. But if we could cut off all the economic trade by sea, we could really ratchet up the pressure. The question is, would we actually do this to North Korea?
That's a good question. I know that Trump right now has the A-team in place, in my view. He's got Mattis at defense, Pompeo coming in, hopefully, to the State Department, and John Bolton in the White House. These are very serious national security professionals, and I'm sure that they're going to provide really good advice for Trump on how to deal with it. And Trump's no fool. He said this weekend, hey, it may work and it may not work, but we're going to give it a shot.
Did you see there was a report, a Pentagon intel report, that said a 5-ton truck appeared to move possible chemical weapons equipment away from one of the sites in Syria targeted last week, the day before it was struck. Is it a bad idea for us to telegraph what we're going to do so that I'm beginning to think that maybe Saddam actually had WMDs in Iraq and we kind of telegraphed the whole thing.
It's really tough. We live in an information age. We're just inundated with information from all over, and it's just very hard to keep operational things secret these days. So everybody knew before we did the recent strike on Syria that it was coming. The only question was when. So clearly they had time to move materials and things out of there. Also, we struck the thing at like 4 o'clock in the morning when there was no activity at all. So, it remains to be seen whether we've actually put a dent in the Assad regime's chemical weapons use.
I've got some questions about this. Okay, I've been following this for 20 years, right? And when you really think about it, after September 11th, wasn't Assad at that point a kind of a highway information? Wasn't he an asset to us? Hasn't he been fighting Hezbollah, ISIS, whatever they're calling themselves today? Hasn't he been really fighting them for 20 years in his country? And I'm curious, we announced that we're going to back off of pressure on Assad, and within 48 hours, he seems to chemical attack his people. This has been an ongoing theme since Obama was in the White House, since W. Bush was in the White House, isn't it?
Well, yeah, the problem with Syria is that we had the big green revolution that swept North Africa all the way through the Middle East, and it just totally upset the apple cart and created massive instability across the whole region. And now you've got kind of a proxy war going on. You've got the Russians and Iranians backing Assad, U.S. backing rebels that are working against ISIS. So it remains to be seen how this thing is ultimately going to shake down.
It feels to me, Bill, that he was on the verge of really collapsing ISIS. And all of a sudden this chemical attack happens, and it almost feels like we give ISIS air cover. Why aren't we more curious? So you just had Mattis come out and say they haven't confirmed that chemical weapons were used on their people. You had this big blow-up on Fox News when Tucker Carlson said this. But we get sidetracked from the actual facts of did he do it? And at that point, are we verifying?
He did it. Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm just asking some questions.
Okay. Did he do it,
Well,
Bill?
there's a UN team in there now, so we're probably going to find out if they haven't obscured and scrubbed all of the evidence away. But from the photos that showed, it didn't look like a fake thing. They showed all these bodies of these dead people, including children that had been gassed in a chlorine gas attack.
Thanks, Bill. I'm going to take care of Sean right here. Bill, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Bill Gertz, senior editor for the Washington Free Beacon and author of the new book, I War and Peace in the Information Age. Thanks so much, Bill. Appreciate it. So, Sean, look, I mean, I love Tucker Carlson, but I mean, he was practically the dupe of the Russians. He was practically the dupe of the Russians. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that Assad can do the chemical weapons attack and withstand our response because he knows we're not looking for regime change, so he can do that.
You're an attorney from Northwestern. Don't you need a little more proof than video? I'm serious about this. Don't you need a little more proof
people on the
than
ground
photographs?
told
You know
us
what?
that.
If I show you pictures of Trump's first wedding, you'd have sworn to God he loved her. I mean, enough with these pictures and video nonsense. So how about we get some actual facts before we start bombing things?
Our people, the people
These are
on the ground
proxy
said
wars,
they did.
and the Saudis are at the root of it all. And nobody, and it's. I'm going to tell you something. I don't like how they get to manipulate world policy.
Saudis are modernizing everything. They're on Israel's side. They're on our side. Women can drive now.
Yeah, inbreds and sheets.
Do you think women should drive in Saudi Arabia? Give us a call at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Okay, weather. Today, we all know how I love to do the weather. Today it's October. Sunny, partly cloudy with a high of 60. Tonight, partly cloudy down to 45. Tomorrow, same thing. 58's the high, 40's the low. It's going to do all that until Friday when the high is only 53. Good thing Telemonte hasn't put away his parka. You still got the green one with the orange lining, don't you?
Oh, ouch. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Bruce. I-80 westbound. Got a big mess. It's been a mess most of the morning. There's a crash at Maple, rollover tank truck. 2 right lanes are blocked. Big jam starts at 80th Avenue. Eastbound, there's a gate-burst delay starting at 355. Eden's inbound. 21 minutes like Hook to the junction. Outbound 28. Kennedy, 53 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 36 from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound 24 minutes to Montrose, 45 to the airport. Eisenhower's an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to down. Crash just reported at Harlem. The outbound side is 48 minutes to 390. North on I-55, heavy Renwick to Weber after a crash. Then it's an hour, 355 to the drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ride 36 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive is heavy. Southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound 18th Drive to Jackson. North on Tri-State bottled up. Actually from 8094 at the state line up to past the Thornton Quarry after a crash. And it's slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Quality doors and windows are one of the smartest investments you can make. They improve your home's appearance and save you money on energy bills year-round. Say goodbye to high-pressure sales tactics and enjoy the best window and door experience with Next Door and Window. Call now and schedule your free quote, 630-590-1370, or go online to nextdoorandwindow.com. Next Door and Window has wood-clad, vinyl, and fiberglass windows and doors. Their staff will help you find exactly what you want. Right now, get 10% off windows and doors with no money down and no payments for 1 year. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote. Choose from 3 showrooms in Chicagoland, Arlington Heights, Burr Ridge, and Naperville. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote and for finance qualifications.
Next Door and Window, thousands of options, one perfect fit. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. And I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
There's a lot going on with your mouth. It's how you communicate through speech and your smile. It's where you put food to fuel your body. It's how you show affection to your loved ones. The health of your mouth and teeth are so important, and Dentistry for All Ages in Elk Grove Village can help keep your mouth and teeth in excellent condition. When is the last time you had a dental checkup? It's suggested every 6 months. Dr. Leichner and Dr. Fernelli at Dentistry for All Ages focus on comprehensive consultations and most dental services. But start with an oral cancer screening using Velscope. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple process. And right now, you can get a free oral cancer screening with your dental cleaning and exam. Dentistry for All Ages is in Elk Grove Village, Suite 660 in the Eberly Building in Alexian Brothers Hospital, with a convenient indoor parking garage located on the first 4 floors. Call 847-439-2445 for an appointment, or go to dentistryforallage.com. Dentistryforallage.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. I want to have an argument with you about Tucker Carlson.
Let's go.
Look, I love Tucker. I mean, he's really, really smart. I'm envious of him because he lives in a $3.8 million house, and he got to go to great prep school with Julie, what's her name, from Modern Family, Julie Bowen. Went to prep school with him. So, I mean, he's part of the landed aristocracy. But he's awfully selective, and he can be very biased on the air, and he's tendentious. Here, for example, when the Roy Moore story came out in the Washington Post, he only reluctantly reported on it. When it broke, he didn't report on it at all, just barely. And I can understand that because the Washington Post is biased. They are very selective in what they decide to cover. But once they decide to cover something like Roy Moore, and it was a really good story, and it was worthy of a Pulitzer, which they just won, I mean, Tucker's got to cover it, but he'll ignore that kind of stuff.
I have
very
no
selective.
opinion of him.
Okay.
I don't like him or dislike him.
Okay.
I don't care where he went to school. I'm interested in when he asks questions that are pertinent to the issue. Listen, Bruce, this is the only thing, and you know this, you've been around a lot longer than I have, and your face shows it. The one thing that I don't like is when all of a sudden we are given information and all of a sudden we are supposed to have a collective opinion. I want questions. I want evidence.
Okay.
I'm
specifically referring to whether it was a chemical attack by Assad.
I'm specifically referring to, are we giving air cover to ISIS or aren't we?
Look, I watch Homeland, so I know a
there
lot.
You go.
I know a lot about how these things work.
All right, well, let's go. I'm going to be
And
attacked now. Go to the phones.
Carrie Matheson,
is a crackpot.
On the ground, told us that there was a chemical weapons
I like
attack.
Saul.
Yes, I'll leave it at that. Mike from Countryside, good morning.
Yeah, hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Sean, how dare you? How dare you go against the worldwide view of what is going on over in Syria? You can't expound common sense in this world. What the heck is wrong with you?
What's the worldwide consensus? Mike, what's the worldwide consensus? I mean, 500,000 people are dead. I mean, that's the worldwide consensus.
So how many people died in our Civil War?
Well,
was Sherman's March a war crime or wasn't it? It's a civil war.
We shouldn't have fought the Civil War. There's no question. Go. Yes, Mike.
The playbook is, in the worldwide view, that it has to be accepted and swallowed no matter what. Otherwise, I mean, forget it, Sean. You have in your own viewpoint and the view of common sense that why would a guy bomb and start this whole thing back up when we were on the verge of leaving again. You know, your career.
He did it because he knew that we weren't going to do anything because we are going to leave. Thanks very much for your call. Appreciate it.
You lost the argument, then you hung up on the guy.
That's
Bruce.
what you do. It's the Dan Proft playbook.
All right.
Keith from Carroll Stream. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Just calling. It seems like I'm the only one that might have this news network, One American News.
Okay, go ahead.
Just recently, they sent a reporter out to Syria, and he did reporting on this whole chemical attack that took place. And what he shows, he's talking to the doctors. He went to the field hospital where they made the video, and all the doctors are like, "There's no sign of a chemical attack."
All right. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate your call.
But here's the only issue I have with you, Bruce, and you and I have talked off air. I think that's when the good conversations happen. You don't interrupt me as much. The issue is, for the last half a century, if you were a Christian or a Jew living in the Middle East and you could not live in Israel, where were you the safest to live? What
ding,
country?
ding, ding, Syria. Ding, ding, ding.
So all of a sudden, look, I don't like.
You know whose fault Syria is? It's Obama. He has the red line. He subsidizes, gives pallets of cash to Iran so that they can keep this thing going. He lets the Russians involved in it.
You know why it's important?
Power abhors a vacuum, so that's why it happened.
It's
Obama.
It's the European pipeline, oil pipeline. Europe needs oil and natural gas. Syria is logistically very important to that pipeline. Syria has resisted that pipeline for 20 years. Those same 20 years are when we have all of a sudden had an adversarial position with Syria. So I believe it is a proxy war of not just a war, but an information war. I believe it is about Iran and Saudi Arabia finally agreeing on one thing, and that's that a pipeline must go through Syria. That's what I think.
I just want to know how weak-kneed you are. I mean, should we stick with the Iran nuclear agreement?
The deal is outrageous.
Okay, thanks. At least you got that.
Outrageous.
At least
the idea that we gave them billions upon billions in the dark of
and
night,
that they're going to go
like
nuclear in a drop of a hat.
Like they were never going to. Like they were.
Yeah,
Do we pretend they were ever going to stop it?
All right, thanks. Phew. I'm relieved for a
I like
second
to
here.
think on the issues individually.
I thought I had a paleocon on the air right now.
The only paleocon here is the guy with the reading glasses.
No, that's not true. So when we come back, more of your calls here at 312-642-5600.
He still doesn't know the number, Mike Scott. He doesn't know the number.
Well, because I still got 591 Rock 591 roll in my head. Right. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan Proft and Amy.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at the HomeLoanExpert.com. It's real simple with Ryan. He's one of us, and he gets it. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Look, the housing market is hot right now, very hot in Chicago, top of the market. What does someone need to do if they're going to buy a house this year?
You know, what a great question, Dan. I appreciate letting me jump on with you, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot. It's really hot. And if you're even considering buying a house this year, you need to get pre-approved, and you need to be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. And I mean that. There's a lot of other lenders. There's a lot of banks out there. But when you get pre-approved by the HomeLoanExpert.com, that pre-approval is like gold. Heck, we even print them on gold paper. They're so valuable. And if you are considering buying a house, know one thing. You're not the only person out there watching the same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for those listings. There's a lot of other people sitting on the sideline. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois residential mortgage licensee.
AmeriGas. Your business relies on the power of propane. It's a critical component to success, from powering your forklifts, temporary heating solutions at construction sites, to the patio heaters that warm customers at restaurants and bars. You need a safe, reliable, and trustworthy supplier of propane. You need AmeriGas. With AmeriGas, you get more than just a propane supplier. You get an expert and partner with safety being their number one priority. Imagine never having to worry about running out of propane and having to call for an emergency delivery. It's available if you need it, but you won't with AmeriGas. AmeriGas monitors your usage and automatically schedules your propane deliveries hassle-free. AmeriGas, for almost 60 years, committed to providing reliable propane services to keep your business running. For safe propane delivery all over Chicagoland, any time of day, call 800-AmeriGas or go to AmeriGas.com. That's AmeriGas.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Stop interrupting me while I'm interrupting you. I'll be with you, darling. This is before you had great chest hair.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Coming up after the news, how was your Earth Day? Are we going to be able to conserve Scott Pruitt? It looks
I
pretty
litter
bad.
on Earth Day.
It looks pretty bad. Give us a call at 312-642-5600. Now let's go into the news lounge with Mike Scott.
44 degrees. We've clouded up just a bit this morning. Tennessee authorities say they are still hunting the man they say shot and killed four at a Waffle House restaurant in a Nashville suburb. Police believe 29-year-old Travis Reinking, who is a native of Morton, Illinois, went to that Waffle House early yesterday morning and opened fire. Four were killed. There could be delays in the new rules governing the internet that are supposed to be kicking in today. The FCC voting earlier this year to repeal Obama-era rules on what's called net neutrality. Repeal will give internet service providers the right to slow or block traffic on certain sites or charge fees for faster delivery. The White House is prepping for the first official state visit of the Trump administration as host. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife will be honored at a state dinner tomorrow night. A manhunt is underway for individuals shot by an who shot an off-duty suburban officer. Dalton Police Detective Darrell Hope was ambushed by two people in an apparent robbery on South Calumet Avenue in the Chatham neighborhood of Chicago just after midnight this morning. He has been upgraded to good condition at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn. The city of Chicago is attempting to collect millions of dollars from two cash-strapped suburbs indebted to the city for the water it provides. Lawsuits have been filed against Dalton and Robbins. The White Sox continue to play with heavy hearts. Reliever Danny Farquhar was in stable but critical condition this morning following surgery to relieve swelling on his brain after suffering a brain hemorrhage while in the dugout during a game. Sox manager Rick Renteria says the team is keeping its spirits up in spite of their weekend incident. He's being treated at the neurological ICU unit at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago. Cubs over the Rockies 9-7 in Denver. Houston did beat the White Sox Sunday 7-1. The news is a service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now get the HP LaserJet Pro M23DW for just $129.99 this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 244-4436. Ends 428. 834, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bastuga, co-founder of Signature Bank. If you get the feeling your deposits don't matter to your bank, then maybe you're not with the right bank. At Signature Bank, your deposits matter to us as much as your business loans. Signature provides unmatched banking expertise, custom financial solutions, and the industry's best technology to closely held Chicagoland businesses. Whether your business is looking for a deposit relationship or needs a ready source for financing, Signature Bank is the right bank for you. Call us today to see how Signature Bank can help your business grow and thrive.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Eisenhower is jammed. North Avenue to the Tri-State, then 25th to Harlem. Rollover crash blocking 2 right lanes. And it's slow also from Laramie into downtown. It is an hour and 18 minutes, 390. Past the Circle, and it's 54 minutes from Manheim into the Loop. Outbound, 43 minutes out to 390. Eden's 19 minutes, like Hook to the Junction, outbound 29. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 43 from Montrose, 34 in the Express, outbound 35 minutes to O'Hare. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. The Rhine is 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State delays are northbound from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway stop and go lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway 22nd to the Tri-State. Westbound I-80 is jammed, 80th Avenue to Maple. Rollover tanker in the 2 right lanes. Eastbound delays Parker to Maple. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sunny to partly cloudy today, high near 60. Partly cloudy and 45 overnight, currently 47. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Boom, boom, boom. Can I tell a quick
Music
dumb
from
story?
Bruce's youth. Yeah, it's all about you, Bruce.
Well,
Come on,
all right,
give me a
this
story
song,
about you.
So this song, I'm in a car with Bob Stroud of the Stroud Crowd, legendary Chicago DJ, working at the Loop back in the day. We're going to a remote broadcast. I hear this song on the radio with him in the car with him, and I say to him, "Oh yeah, Aqualung, it's by the Turtles." He never let me forget that because I think of a turtle having an aqua lung.
Well, the good news is everybody who just heard it forgot it.
Right.
Listen, we got a caller I really love.
We do. Let's go to
Scott.
Carol. Well, let's go to Carol first.
All right.
From Burlington. Hi, Carol.
Yes, hi. Hi. I heard today was the day where some parents are keeping their children home from school to protest very intense and graphic sex education. So I've not heard this on the mainstream media very much. I heard it on a Ave Maria radio station, which is
so the kids can tune into Cinemax and get a visual. Yeah, I get it.
Carol, I was the first.
I didn't know if you've heard anything about this.
I thought I heard something about that. I mean, with the kids leaving school because of gun protests and the parents pulling the kids out of school.
And your kids not being in the house. You just stop listening to the radio.
But Carol, that's not a bad idea. I was the first one, the guinea pig, the first person ever to have sex education. It was 9.5 weeks of
your wife still wants to know when it'll kick in.
Of hysterical laughter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just it was giggling the entire time. But yeah, you're right about that. So I assume that you're anti-sex education. Am I right, Carol?
No, it's not anti sex. It's where it's not, where it's very graphic and almost
pornographic,
perhaps to the edge of pornographic, and also
what do they show? I mean, they don't show like a Barbie doll or something.
I was the first. I don't know, but when I was in high school at Hinsdale Central, they had some guy come in and he pulled a plastic uterus out of his pocket. So I'm sure it's much more advanced than that.
He doesn't have a plastic uterus. I mean, come on.
Or are you happy to see him? Okay. Thanks so much, Carol. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes. Let's go to Scott Shalady.
Love this guy.
Hi, Scott.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Very good.
I'm sitting here in London. I was watching the show on your whatever the YouTube channel. I can see you actually in the studio, and I actually got confused with the CCTV camera I have at home to watch my pets when they're unattended.
There you go.
So
sure.
Is
my bald
I'd
spot
give you a
covered
bell.
up, Scott? That's the main thing.
Scott, my hair is actually much grayer than it looks on the live stream. I don't know. It kind of darkens my hair for some reason. So,
and why don't you tell Carol that I shot all the promotional videos for the stuff that they're showing in high school now. So
yeah, I know.
Scott, I'm glad you called. All right, because I actually said earlier I want to get Shalady in here for Financial Friday, but instead we're going to do Manic Monday, and I want to know right now if you see an effect on the economy of the pretend employment numbers, which you and I have, you know my philosophy. They're cooked like Enron's books. And all I'm seeing are more people on the dole, non-cent participation rates, and I think the magical unicorn of infrastructure around the corner, along with this omnibus spending to cook GDP numbers. Am I wrong?
Well, a lot of what you said is right, and I think I call it one of the great unanswerables. I mean, nobody asked this question ever. If we really do have full employment, or 4%, or maybe sub 4, we're going to look at 3.5% unemployment. How come we can't get a 3% GDP year over? I mean, annualized.
Right.
I mean, that should be 5.5% if that's the case. Nobody asks that question. What's happening when we have more than full employment? If you ask some economists. And we can't print a GDP over 3. That's the problem, and no one wants to talk about it.
Why is the American death rate going up? Why are people living not as long as they used to? Well, if everybody's supposedly employed, they're not employed. They're killing themselves.
That's a personal choice. It's a personal choice nowadays.
You've got unprecedented
Thank
amounts
you, Scott.
of credit.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you cut my guy off.
No, that's all right.
You're unprecedented amounts of personal credit, unprecedented amounts of corporate credit. You've got a debt bubble that I can't even believe it hasn't popped yet. And the question is, you better start buying puts, although is it even going to matter?
You're never going to see Social Security, buddy.
Oh, come on. Social Security, greatest scam in the universe, doesn't exist. It's a tax.
Ann from Chicago. Is this Anna?
Good morning.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Good to hear you all.
Yes.
Yes, my question is, I'm not celebrating Earth Day.
Okay.
But I want to know, who's going to pay for all the damage that this cold weather has caused, the flooding and everything? We help Puerto Rico, we help everybody, but people can't get the insurance money. And all these high-rises that are downtown, all the flushing, bathing, washing, electricity, who's going to pay for that? Are utility bills going to go up to supply these people with the...
Anna, did you take a bath? Why, is one missing?
Easy
That's an old
now,
joke.
easy.
Thanks,
We're
Anna.
covered.
Appreciate it. Anna is saying too many baths. We should take. We should have a limit on the number of showers we should be allowed to take. Did you celebrate Earth Day at all yesterday?
Yeah,
yesterday
I threw a cup out of the window, a plastic cup from Starbucks, right out of the window. Did you know what the real argument that Starbucks? They took the garbage cans away a year ago. Did you know this?
From Starbucks?
From Starbucks. They used to have the garbage can where you'd get a new cup and you'd throw your old cup. Now they took it away. So you know what I do? I litter on Starbucks property. That's what I do.
The Starbucks I've been to still have garbage cans in. They have a recyclable one, and
the last time you bought a Starbucks, they were $2. We all know you don't go to Starbucks.
That's true.
Tightwad.
Did you see? Speaking of Earth Day, Penn State forbids students in 98-year-old outing club to go on hikes in the woods because they may go beyond cell phone reception area. That's how much we're snowflakes now.
How weak our children are.
We can't even enjoy nature anymore on Earth Day because we don't have cell phone use.
Communists infiltrated the kids. They made them weak and worthless. They made them needy, and then they made them feel entitled. And you know who was the picture of that? Pritzker.
It all comes back to Pritzker.
It all comes back to that chubby son of a gun who's, the look between him and Rosie O'Donnell, I can't separate him anymore.
The thing is I'm worried about, on Earth Day, I prayed that the good Lord would make sure that Scott Pruitt stayed at the EPA because they're gunning for him, and he's got so many ethics questions
the minute
that he could
be
gone. The problem is, Sean, that nobody questioned any of the Obama appointees
who had
that were taking advantage of things. The New York Times wasn't doing 100 stories on that like they're doing on Scott Pruitt.
First of all, the name of the gargoyle that Obama appointed, her name is Gina. I can remember her first name, but not the last name. You want to talk about steeped in scandal. These are these career bureaucrats. What you learn when you look at these bureaucratic agencies, the EPA, OSHA, Interior Department, they're littered with sycophants of political barnacles that have always either befriended or helped fund these politicians. The reality, the real scam of our government is that they've somehow created where you feel you need these departments. They're all made up. They're all doing nothing except waiting for their pensions to kick in, break time, and their budget to grow.
Well, thank
all
goodness.
Of these agencies, get rid of them yesterday.
Thank goodness Andrew McCabe is not getting his full pension. They even made it sound like he wasn't getting his pension at all. It's just part of his pension he's not getting. And do you get your pension if you you wind up going to jail for lying.
It's so ridiculous.
3 times
These
or
municipal
more.
pensions, these government pensions.
All right.
It's a lottery.
All right. Very quickly here, let's go to Tom, who is skeptical of government numbers. Tom from Deer Park.
Fake?
Good morning. Good morning. I was in the biz for 35 years, so I just want to comment on my opinion of the veracity of government numbers, whether it's the Department of Labor, the USDA. They are extrapolations based on surveys, and then they're churned out by a bunch of government bureaucrats and then screened by the top bureaucrats to see what they want to come out. So from input to output, top to bottom, I've always been thoroughly skeptical, though I enjoy the volatility that comes out when they release them, but I think they're all BS.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate the call. And on that note, now that we know that everything is BS, we will adjourn for just a second here, take a check of the traffic and the weather, and then we're going to hear from Dan and Amy, who, speaking of numbers that I don't believe,
it's exciting.
I think Dan is at at least a 0.2 blood alcohol.
Cannot
level.
drive a moped.
I think so.
They've taken his moped away.
Let's check that traffic.
Words mean, but I understand them to be important.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The weather. You want me to do the weather?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
No, you don't give me the sheet. You take the sheet away. Today,
Okay. I
it's
thought
gonna
you
be
knew it by
60.
heart.
Partly sunny, partly cloudy. It's going to be a cornucopia of bad weather. Tonight, down to 45. Tomorrow, 58. Progressively bad. Just like the traffic, progressively bad. Talamonte, where are those moms dropping off their kids, screwing everything up?
Oh, it's all over the place, Sean. Good morning. Good morning, Bruce. CTA trains are stopped on the elevated lines in the loop right now. There's a signal issue near Clark and Lake. I-80 westbound's been brutal all morning. Still is. 80th Avenue to Maple. Rollover tanker has 2 right lanes blocked. Eastbound, it's just a little heavy. It's improved eastbound. Edens is fine inbound. Outbound heavy to Skokie Road. It's 29 minutes, Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy, 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. A little quicker in the express. Outbound 35 minutes. About Eisenhower's a mess with a rollover at Harlem in the 2 right lanes. An hour and 16 minutes, 390 to downtown. 54 minutes from Manhunt. Outbound 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway's tied up. Lead to the Tri-State. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
It's Dan Proft, and I'm excited to tell you about the Dangerous Camp for Boys and over 20 other summer camps from Northridge Prep. What's Dangerous Camp? It's a camp designed to get your boys off their iPads, iPhones, and video games this summer. It's dangerously fun, not unsafe. They throw water balloons, play games, and learn the meaning of outdoor adventure. As a listener to the morning show, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep, the all-boys school in Niles that instills the traditional values you hold as parents. Their summer programs for boys in grades 1 through 8 combine fun, adventure, and character growth. You won't find camps like this anywhere else. A few camps caught my eye, like basketball camps led by a former NCAA Division I coach and varsity players, battles of the Civil War, bugs and botany, intro to musical improv, even a robotics camp where campers learn to build, pilot, and code their own robots. Get your son off the couch and into the outdoors. You can learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Hi, can I help you? Yes, I have a snoring problem. Can you describe it for me, please? Well, it's about 5'11" with curly hair and a mustache. Oh, I see.
Introducing Mute, sleep technology that opens the nose to increase airflow by an average of 38% so you and your partner can enjoy a good night's sleep. Mute. Breathe more, snore less, sleep better. Available now at Walgreens, CVS and GNC.
I'm Amy Errett, founder and CEO of Madison Reed, a company that's revolutionizing the way women color their hair, a company I named after my daughter. Madison Reed is the ultimate hair color hack. The quality of a salon, the convenience and affordability of at-home hair color, and an ammonia-free formula with ingredients you could feel good about. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first purchase. Use code RADIANTHAIR.
AM 560. The Answer.
Hola, buenos dias. Me llamo Dan. Te llamas, Amy.
Amy Igrera. You're spelling it out.
Okay. Whatever you said. Passport to Paradise. We're at Secrets Maroma Beach Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico. Our annual trip presented by our friends.
Connect with Dan and
Thousands
Amy.
of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560. The Answer.
Hola, and welcome to Secrets Maroma Beach. Amy Jacobson here with this fine, dashing young gentleman.
Tracy Kahn. Yes. Joe Cotton Ford, Vice President. We're at Secrets Maroma Beach, as Amy said, our annual trip. It's been a heap big fun, and we're appreciative of our sponsors, Arlingtonites Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, as I mentioned, and OPM Tax Resolution, the law offices of Stephen Leahy. Tracy, thanks for being a sponsor this year, and tell us a little bit about Joe Cotton Ford there on North Avenue.
Well, we're a full-service dealer. We have service, body shop, and sales. So a lot of dealerships today, they don't believe in having a body shop anymore, and we think that in order to serve people properly, that the best thing is to have all of the services. So.
And how many people do you employ?
We have 67 employees currently.
Amy is in the market for a car because she's driving a 42-year-old jalopy. It's one of Ford's originals. And so what would be a good car that you would recommend for a mother of two teenage boys who are big, like Amy?
Large, tall.
I did recommend to her a Flex, but she didn't really care for the looks of that. She's more a minivan person. I didn't realize they made minivans in the 1940s. But
I have minivan written all over me. I mean, look at me.
Yeah, the Dodge Caravan's so stylish. It's difficult to compete with that.
It's a Chrysler Town and Country. With
Even worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
With almost 200,000 miles on it. Pardon?
Do you carpool?
That's the thing. I take my teams, whether it's volleyball or basketball. I have a bunch of people in the car.
Have an expedition.
Yeah.
How many does that seat? This is Pamela, by the way.
Oh,
Pamela
yes.
Kahn. Hello.
Yes.
Manners.
How
many?
8. Okay. So you've spent many years carpooling with an expedition. It is the perfect thing to carpool with large children, too.
You'll just need to get a second job. But
but is it a gas guzzler?
No. Not as bad as it used to be. It used to be pretty hard on fuel, but now it's 20, 21, 22 miles per gallon, which isn't terrible for a four-wheel drive version. But you can put 8 people in there comfortably and still have some space. The only thing is you got to find a little larger parking spot.
So what are the best sellers other than the Mustangs?
Right now it's the F-150 is probably the best-selling vehicle, and then the Escape, the small SUV that Ford has, is very, very popular right now. For some reason, cars aren't selling right now. People want SUVs, and I don't know why that is, but that's the fact.
Because more kids, more equipment, hockey moms. I mean, there's just so much stuff you have to put in a car.
Yeah, I believe that is the case.
Yeah.
And you're family owned. You took over for your father?
Yes. We've been there since 1974. I started working there when I was 10. But we 44 years, and it's wonderful. My dad still, when he comes into town, like usually we're on vacation, my dad comes into town and still works there or whatever when he can. But
what did you do when you were 10 years old?
I served hot dogs. We sold a good old day hot dogs for 10 cents, and you got a pop for 10 cents and hot dogs for 10 cents. Yeah.
How much are the hot dogs and pop at Joe Cotton Ford now?
Free.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
All
now
right.
we do customer appreciation events.
Prices,
yeah,
driving
everything's
prices
free
down.
then.
Yeah.
So all of our customers, we had 500 customers come back last year for our customer appreciation event. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was really cool. We're having a commercial event coming up in May, and we're real excited. So May 12th is our first.
What is that?
We're inviting all businesses to come on over. We have trucks and transits and all that good stuff and all the work truck ideas. But we have the upfitters who upfit those vehicles. Ford Credit and Commercial will be there. Lending will be there also. And it'll be, you can ask all your questions in one spot instead of having to figure out, okay, what do I need, in the back of this transit, what do I need in the back of this truck or whatever. You'll be able to look at all of that there in one day.
Now, Tracy, when I ran for governor, I stopped by Joe Cotton Ford and was able to address you and your team, the employees, and I wonder 8 years later, are they still talking about that
Every day. I mean, they can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
They're like, when is Dan going to come back and visit us again?
I sensed I had real impact. I was kind of a life-changing event for a lot of
It was.
guys.
There were people who repented after that.
Yeah. Well,
I
I can have that impact. There's no question about it. Not in the ballot box, but just in people's lives more.
What did you discuss when you were there? Do you remember?
It's too much to go into. I'd have to give you the. I'd have to give you the whole spiel. Also,
I think he had it memorized.
Yeah. Also, Tracy Wheaton guy, Wheaton North. Yeah. He played with, Chuck Long from
I played
Iowa.
with Chuck Long.
Yeah.
I was a wide receiver. He was my quarterback.
Excited for you. Is he still a quarterback coach?
He is still a quarterback coach at Iowa.
Yeah.
Yes, he
is.
Went
Good to
back.
see you're following the program.
No. When I was in Detroit, he was a quarterback coach for the Lions, so that was all.
He was, but then he went back, and then there was talk that he was going to take, was it Hayden Fox?
Hayden Fry. It's okay.
Hayden
He's
Fry.
only a big name in football, but okay.
Oh, you don't know where Chuck Long is.
Yeah, my daughter went to Alabama, and that's where they really play football.
The sitcom coach, his name was Hayden Fox, so
Yes,
you're not that far off.
Yeah, and so, but you're a standout receiver. You play college ball.
I did not. I
going
was
to play
recruited.
college ball.
I was recruited by the University of Wisconsin, and I did not even smell the field.
But so you had your Ken Cram, and you had your Chuck Long, all come from Wheaton North. Wheaton produces a lot of standouts in a lot of disciplines, not just football.
Okay.
Is that right, Tracy?
That is correct, and
Thank
some
you.
of them actually even go to Bennett.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know who went to Bennett. Do you?
Yeah, but they're famous celebrities now, and these other guys are all retired.
Frank Kaminsky, he's talking about. Yes, exactly.
All right, Dan and Amy coming to you from Secrets Maroma Beach.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are considering names.
Chafington?
Well, right, are considering names. They should name their baby boy Mohammed. It's the most popular name in England right now. Why not Mohammed?
See what he did there, boys.
Yeah, all
That's
right.
radio professionalism right there.
We will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station. Did you have fun today?
I did. Stop interrupting me when I'm interrupting you.
Okay. And we'll see you tomorrow. Let's go to the News Lounge right now with Mike Scott.
An Illinois man wanted in connection with a deadly Tennessee shooting. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.